Imagine a city lost to time, hidden within the fiery embrace of sandstone cliffs. A place where the echoes of a vanished civilization whisper on the wind. This is Petra, a wonder carved by human hands over 2,000 years ago, then swallowed by the desert sands. Who were the people who built this monumental city? What secrets lie buried within its tombs and temples? Join us as we journey into the heart of Petra, unlocking the mysteries of a lost world, a world of ingenious engineering, astronomical alignments. Petra, the rose-red city, half as old as time and twice as enigmatic.
Deep in the rugged landscapes of southern Jordan lies an ancient city carved entirely from rose-red sandstone cliffs, a place so extraordinary it defies imagination. What secrets are etched into its time-worn facades? Who crafted these monumental wonders, and how did they vanish into history? This is Petra, the lost city of the Nabateans. Rediscovered in 1812 by Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt. It opened a window into a forgotten civilization that thrived over 2,000 years ago. As we traverse its narrow passageways and towering canyons, we'll unravel the enigmas surrounding this ancient metropolis. Our journey begins at the Siq, a dramatic entrance formed by a natural geological fault. Stretching over a kilometre, its winding path is flanked by cliffs soaring up to 80 meters high. Sunlight filters through the narrow gap above, illuminating the path and heightening our anticipation. Emerging from the Siq, we're greeted by the awe-inspiring sight of Al-Khazneh, the Treasury. Standing approximately 40 meters tall and 28 meters wide, about the height of a 14-story building, it's carved directly into the sandstone cliff. Its elaborate Corinthian columns, pediments and sculptures fuse Hellenistic and Eastern architectural influences. How did the Nabateans, with limited technology, achieve such precision and artistry? The treasury's purpose remains debated. Was it a royal tomb, a temple, or something else entirely? Local legends speak of hidden treasures within, a theory that has captivated treasure hunters for generations. Delving deeper, we encounter the street of facades, lined with tombs and houses. Each structure tells a story, their intricate carvings hinting at Nabatean beliefs and way of life. The royal tombs, the urn tomb, silk tomb, and Corinthian tomb, showcase the grandeur afforded to Petra's elite. Ascending 800 rock-cut steps to the monastery, Ad-Der, we meet one of Petra's most impressive monuments. Measuring 47 meters wide and 48 meters high, nearly the height of a 16-story skyscraper and wider than an Olympic swimming pool is long, it dwarfs the treasury. Named for the crosses carved inside, it was repurposed as a Christian church during the Byzantine period. What ceremonies took place within these sacred halls? Petra is the rose-red city half as old as time, penned John William Bergen, capturing its timeless allure. But Petra's marvels extend beyond grand facades. The city's ingenious water management is perhaps its most remarkable achievement. In a desert receiving less than 15 centimeters of annual rainfall, the Nabateans developed an extensive network of dams, cisterns, and channels. This allowed them to capture and store rainwater, transforming Petra into a lush oasis capable of supporting up to 30,000 people. Recent discoveries have unveiled complex hydraulic engineering rivaling modern systems. Ceramic pipelines and rock-cut channels demonstrate sophisticated understanding of hydraulics. Petra's location made it a critical nexus of trade routes connecting Arabia, Egypt, Syria, and the Mediterranean. Wealth from the incense and spice trade fueled its prosperity. However, shifts in trade routes and the rise of sea trade led to its eventual abandonment. Nearby, Little Petra, Siq al-Barid, adds to the historical tapestry. This smaller canyon features buildings and tombs carved into cliffs, possibly serving as a suburb or caravan rest stop. The painted house within boasts one of the few surviving Nabatean frescoes, a rare glimpse into their artistry. The grandeur of Petra invites comparisons to other megalithic structures. Stonehenge's sarsen stones weigh up to 25 tons each, transported and erected vertically. In contrast, Petra's monuments are intricately carved directly into sandstone cliffs, requiring precise removal rather than movement of stone. This subtractive process demanded a different engineering mastery, much like a sculptor releasing a figure from marble. Comparing Petra to Machu Picchu reveals fascinating parallels. Both ancient cities adapted to challenging terrains, showcasing their civilization's ability to harmonize with nature. The Inca engineered terraces and water channels to manage rainfall, akin to the Nabateans' water systems. Culturally, both sites reflect deep spiritual connections. Machu Picchu aligns with astronomical events, and researchers suggest Petra's design incorporates celestial alignments. Could these similarities indicate a universal approach among ancient peoples to architecture and astronomy? To grasp Petra's scale, imagine the megalithic blocks used in its construction. Some stones weigh several tons, comparable to the largest blocks in the Great Pyramid of Giza, which weigh up to 80 tons. Yet unlike the pyramids, where stones were quarried, transported and assembled, Petra's grand edifices were hewn directly from cliffs. This required not only architectural vision, but precise execution. Any error was irreversible. It's akin to carving an entire cathedral into a mountainside, a feat challenging even today. Conspiracy theories have swirled around Petra. Some speculate it was more than a trading hub, a repository of ancient knowledge or sacred relics. Theories suggest the Ark of the Covenant or extraterrestrial artifacts could be hidden within its depths. These notions, while lacking evidence, fuel the imagination and underscore Petra's enigmatic allure. Popular culture further cements Petra's place in modern mythology. In 1989, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade featured the Treasury as the entrance to the Temple of the Sun, where the Holy Grail was hidden. This portrayal introduced Petra to a global audience, sparking renewed interest. As Indiana Jones said, "It's not the years, honey, it's the mileage."
In the heart of the Mediterranean, where sapphire waters meet rugged shores, lies an archipelago steeped in enigma. Malta, a land where time seems to stand still, yet whispers secrets of civilizations lost to the ages. For millennia, this island nation has guarded its mysteries, buried beneath layers of history and legend. But in the dawn of the 20th century, a discovery would shatter our understanding of Malta's prehistoric past, revealing a subterranean world of unimaginable complexity. 1902, the town of Paola. What began as a routine construction project would unearth a marvel hidden for over 5,000 years. A labyrinth carved from the very heart of the island, a gateway to a lost world. The Hal Saflieni Hypogeum, an underground necropolis, a temple of the dead, a masterpiece of engineering and artistry that predates the pyramids of Egypt, a place where the boundaries between the living and the departed blur.
Nestled in the heart of the Mediterranean, the Maltese islands rise like timeless sentinels, guarding secrets that reach back into the depths of prehistory. This small nation, perched at the crossroads of ancient trade routes, is a tapestry woven with the threads of countless civilizations. Beneath its golden limestone cliffs and rolling fields dotted with wildflowers lies a hidden world, one that predates even the Great Pyramids of Giza and Stonehenge. In 1902, as Malta stood on the brink of modernity, an extraordinary discovery would forever alter our understanding of its ancient past. In the quiet town of Paula, construction workers were laboring to lay foundations for new housing, carving into the soft limestone bedrock. Their chisels and picks, tools of everyday toil, suddenly broke through into an unexpected void. The earth yawned open, revealing a labyrinthine complex that had slumbered in silence for millennia, the Hal Saflieni Hypogeum. This was no ordinary cavern or natural cave. The hypogeum, from the Greek meaning underground chamber, is a subterranean masterpiece, an intricate complex of interconnecting halls, chambers and passages hewn entirely by human hands between 4000 and 2500 BCE. Descending 3 levels and over 10 meters below the surface, it stands as a monumental achievement of engineering and artistry. To grasp the enormity of this endeavor, consider that the ancient builders meticulously extracted more than 2,000 tons of limestone using only primitive tools fashioned from stone, bone, and antler. Imagine the persistence and skill required to remove a mass equivalent to that of 200 African elephants, or about 1/5 the weight of the Eiffel Tower's iron structure, all without the wheel, without metal tools, without the written word. Leading the effort to uncover the secrets of this underground enigma was Dr. Themistocles Zammit, Malta's first director of museums and a pioneering archaeologist. Reflecting on the discovery, he remarked, "The hypogeum is a monument surpassing all others in its uniqueness and in the testimony it bears to the high civilization of the people who built it." His dedication ensured that the site was carefully excavated and preserved for future generations. As we venture deeper into the hypogeum's dimly lit corridors, the air grows cool, and the echoes of our footsteps mingle with whispers of the past. The walls and ceilings are adorned with swirling patterns painted in red ochre, spirals, honeycombs, and intricate motifs that may symbolize the cycle of life, the cosmos, or pathways to realms beyond our own. The architecture mirrors that of the megalithic temples above ground, such as Hagar Kim and Menadra, suggesting a seamless connection between the earthly and the divine. Among the treasures unearthed within the depths of the hypogeum is the enigmatic Sleeping Lady, a small terracotta figurine depicting a corpulent woman reclining peacefully on a couch. Her closed eyes and serene expression have captivated scholars and visitors alike. Is she a representation of a mother goddess, symbolizing fertility and rebirth? As archaeologist Setemi Zammit observed, she embodies the enigmatic spirituality of a people whose rituals and beliefs remain just beyond our grasp. The hypogeum also served as a necropolis, a city of the dead, where the remains of over 7,000 individuals were carefully placed. The bones, often arranged with care, suggest complex funerary practices and a deep reverence for the afterlife. Some skulls found exhibited elongated shapes, sparking debates and fueling legends about ancient races with extraordinary attributes. One chamber, in particular, has ignited both scholarly interest and public imagination, the Oracle Chamber. This small niche possesses acoustic properties so unique that sounds made within it resonate throughout the entire complex. Modern acoustic engineers have studied the chamber and found that it amplifies frequencies around 110 Hz. At this frequency, sound waves can induce a meditative or altered state of consciousness in listeners, affecting brain activity in profound ways. Could it be that the builders intentionally designed the Oracle Chamber to harness the power of sound? Some researchers, like Dr. Linda Ineix of the Old Temple Study Foundation, suggest that the use of acoustic technology in the hypogeum indicates a sophisticated understanding of psychoacoustics, potentially used for rituals aimed at transcending the physical realm. This intersection of architecture, art, and acoustics hints at a culture deeply attuned to the forces of nature and the human psyche. The Hypogeum may have been a place where initiates underwent sensory experiences intended to connect them with the spiritual world, blurring the boundaries between life and death, the tangible and the ethereal. Yet, the Hypogeum's mysteries have also given rise to numerous legends and speculative theories. Tales persist of a lost race of giants who constructed the underground temple with knowledge and abilities beyond those of ordinary humans. Some stories even recount how early explorers vanished within its depths, never to be seen again. While these accounts are steeped in myth, they reflect the profound impact the Hypogeum has on our collective imagination. As the echoes of these legends fade, we are reminded of the significant impact the Hypogeum has had on both historical scholarship and modern science. Its discovery not only unveiled an architectural marvel, but also reshaped our understanding of prehistoric societies. Renowned archaeologist and Professor Colin Renfrew once stated, "The Hypogeum challenges our perceptions of prehistoric societies, compelling us to acknowledge that these ancient people possessed a complexity of thought and culture that rivals our own." His words remind us that the achievements of the past continue to inform and inspire the present.
Indian culture is extremely ancient. We have to accept that civilization in India is at least 5,000 years old. That is one of the mistakes in looking for a quote-unquote advanced civilization in the past, is that we tend to be looking for ourselves. Whereas it's possible for a civilization to be advanced in other ways.
Could the astonishing Kailasa temple at the Ellora Caves, carved meticulously from a single massive rock, truly be the work of mere mortal hands?
There is a particular seal that has survived, and it shows a figure which is recognizable as the god Shiva.
This ancient architectural marvel, built in the 8th century under the patronage of King Krishna of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, stands as a monument not only to devotion and artistry, but also to an engineering prowess that seems almost superhuman.
I think we're confronted by an enormous mystery with megalithic sites all around the world, and we don't understand them properly.
With its elaborate carvings and grand scale, the Kailasa temple has sparked a captivating debate. Was this colossal structure really constructed using primitive tools of the age, or does it bear evidence of intervention by an advanced civilization, possibly beyond our earthly realm?
Some people think that the answer is extraterrestrial visitors. I don't think that's the answer, but who knows?
Tucked away in the basaltic hills of Maharashtra, the Ellora Caves complex is an architectural marvel of ancient India. Spanning from 600 to 1000 AD, these caves house a remarkable blend of Buddhist, Hindu, and Jain heritage. Among them, Cave 16, better known as the Kailasa Temple, stands out as the crowning glory of the site. Historically referred to as Veral, the area's location along ancient north-south trade routes undoubtedly played a critical role in its development. The Kailasa Temple, known for being the largest monolithic rock excavation in the world, showcases the advanced state of engineering and architectural skills during the 8th century. This temple was not built but rather carved top-down from a single massive rock, requiring meticulous planning and execution that speaks volumes about the capabilities of its creators.
There are unexplained issues in our past, which are presently not explained by the system that teaches us about the past.
Under the patronage of King Krishna I of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, the temple was commissioned around the mid-8th century. King Krishna I, also known as Krishna Rajanram, embarked on this ambitious project to emulate the sacred Mount Kailash, the mythological abode of Lord Shiva. The temple not only served as a place of worship, but also as a demonstration of the power and artistic aspiration of the Rashtrakutas. During a period of British colonial expansion in India, British officers often ventured on expeditions for leisure and exploration. It was during one such excursion that the lush, overgrown vegetation of the Maharashtra region, which had concealed the Ellora Caves for centuries, finally gave way to one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in India.
A lot of archaeology that gets done doesn't get done because of a targeted search.
The year was 1819, and the caves, untouched and perfectly preserved as if in a time capsule, were stumbled upon accidentally by Captain John Smith and his party. The discovery by Captain Smith wasn't merely about uncovering a lost site, it was a revelation that peeled back the layers of India's rich and ancient civilization, which had thrived long before European powers set foot in the region. As Smith entered the caves, he was confronted with the grandeur of India's past, an intact cultural heritage that spoke volumes of its historical depth and complexity. However, Captain Smith left behind more than just the memory of his discovery. In what is now viewed as an act of historical vandalism, he inscribed his name and the date on a pillar inside Cave 10. At the time, such actions were common among explorers, who often left their marks as records of their presence. This graffiti, though frowned upon today, provided a tangible record marking the European discovery of the site and has since become a point of contention in discussions about heritage preservation versus the historical markers of colonial exploration. Following this accidental discovery, there was a renewed interest in the Ellora Caves, leading to more systematic explorations and excavations. The Archaeological Survey of India, established in 1861, took on the mammoth task of excavating and preserving these ancient sites. Their efforts were crucial in maintaining the structural integrity and historical accuracy of the caves as they faced the dual pressures of time and increasing tourism. Detailed studies and documentation efforts were spearheaded by early explorers and scholars like James Burgess and later Ghulam Yazdani. Their meticulous work in cataloguing the sculptures, iconography, and architectural styles has been compiled into extensive reports and books, which remain invaluable resources for Indological studies today. This comprehensive documentation helps ensure that the Ellora Caves, including the magnificent Kailasa Temple, continue to be understood and appreciated not just as monuments, but as gateways to India's illustrious past. The Kailasa Temple, also known as Cave 16 at the Ellora Caves, truly stands as a testament to the ancient mastery of rock-cut architecture. This stunning structure isn't just a testament to grandeur, but also to a unique construction methodology that melds religious devotion with unmatched craftsmanship. Unlike traditional buildings constructed from the ground up, this temple was carved directly out of a single massive rock, a process that required not only extreme labor but also precise planning. The effort to remove approximately 200,000 tons of rock from the site underscores the monumental human endeavor that went into its creation, likely involving hundreds, if not thousands, of laborers across several generations.
Ancient cultures all around the world preserved a memory of a high civilization, of prehistory.
Symbolically, the temple mirrors Mount Kailasa, the mythical abode of Lord Shiva, suggesting that the architects intended to create a heavenly abode on earth. This ambition is evident not just in the temple's scale, but also in its elaborate multi-storied design, which features a rare vertical expansion in rock-cut architecture. Each floor is intricately adorned with carvings and statues that bring to life stories from Hindu mythology, especially those focusing on Lord Shiva, enhancing both the religious and aesthetic appeal of the temple. Comparing the Kailasa temple to the ancient city of Petra in Jordan highlights its unique features. While Petra is renowned for its impressive facades carved into rock faces, the Kailasa temple goes a step further. It is not just a facade, but a complete excavation, with intricate vertical carvings that make its interiors as spectacular as its exteriors. Unlike Petra's relatively plain interiors, the Kailasa temple is elaborately detailed, with entire floors, columns, and ceilings that are ornately decorated to reflect Hindu religious themes. The engineering behind the Kailasa temple also addresses some significant challenges, such as maintaining structural integrity while removing massive volumes of rock. The architects and engineers employed their deep understanding of geology and engineering to ensure the stability and durability of the remaining structures. They even incorporated an ingenious drainage system to prevent water accumulation and erosion during the region's heavy monsoon seasons. Moreover, strategic placements of openings and alignments within the temple structure allow natural light to flood its interiors, enhancing the spiritual and aesthetic experience for visitors. The layout also facilitates the circulation of air and movement of devotees, crucial during religious ceremonies. These intriguing aspects of the Kailasa temple, combined with the mysteries surrounding its construction, have fueled various theories about its origins and the techniques used in its elaborate design. From theories suggesting extraterrestrial influence to speculations about advanced ancient technologies or a network of secret chambers, the temple continues to be a subject of fascination and scholarly debate.
I think the dating of quite a number of megalithic sites needs to be reconsidered.
These discussions not only celebrate the architectural genius of the temple's creators, but also deepen our appreciation for this ancient marvel. Exploring the mysteries of the Kailasa temple at a more refined level reveals a range of fascinating theories that try to explain its incredible construction. One such theory suggests that the technology and precision required for its creation in the 8th century might hint at extraterrestrial influence or the use of advanced ancient technology that has since been lost. While this idea captivates the imagination, most scholars and archaeologists believe that the temple's construction was well within the capabilities of human ingenuity at the time, pointing to similar rock-cutting techniques used across India long before the temple was built. Another intriguing theory about the Kailasa temple involves the possibility of a network of secret tunnels and chambers beneath the complex. Local legends and some speculative reports suggest that these could have served as passages for religious ceremonies or as escape routes during invasions. However, thorough archaeological investigations have yet to confirm these claims, and the natural rocky terrain of the area makes such an extensive network rather unlikely. The alignment of the Kailasa temple with celestial bodies forms yet another theory. Some believe that the temple, like many ancient structures, was designed in alignment with certain stars or planets to harness cosmic energies during significant astronomical events, such as solstices and equinoxes. While there are notable celestial alignments at other ancient sites that lend some support to this theory, concrete evidence linking the Kailasa temple's orientation with celestial events remains elusive. As these theories continue to pique curiosity and scholarly debate, the significance of preserving such a monumental site has never been clearer. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Ellora Caves, including the Kailasa Temple, are the focus of ongoing preservation efforts. These efforts are crucial in protecting the site's intricate carvings and magnificent structures from both natural elements and the impacts of modern-day tourism, ensuring that this ancient marvel can be appreciated for generations to come.
These caves are incredible. I don't even want to call them caves because it's called the Barabar Caves, but these things are not caves. Does that look like a cave to anyone?
That looks
No.
like the entrance to a spaceship. That's
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's like a single granite
Vein.
One
vein.
huge piece.
Deep in the heart of India, shrouded in the mists of ancient history, lies a marvel of engineering and artistry that continues to baffle and amaze. The Barabar Caves, a series of rock-cut chambers carved into the granite hills of Bihar, India, the oldest rock-carved caves that exists to date. What secrets do they hold? How were they built? And what purpose did they serve? Could humans really have created this ancient wonder? The Barabar Caves, discovered in the early 19th century, are believed to be the oldest surviving examples of rock-cut architecture in India, dating back to the 3rd century BC. They were commissioned by Ashoka the Great, the Mauryan emperor who famously converted to Buddhism after the bloody Kalinga War. These caves were meant to serve as retreats for monks and ascetics seeking spiritual enlightenment. What is immediately striking about the Barabar Caves is the sheer precision and polish of their construction. The walls and ceilings are so smooth, they seem almost mirrored. The interiors are devoid of any ornamentation, emphasizing their austere and contemplative purpose. Even today, after more than 2 millennia, the echo of a whisper reverberates through these chambers, creating an ethereal atmosphere. The most iconic of the Barabar Caves is the Lomas Rishi Cave, distinguished by its unique horseshoe-shaped entrance, reminiscent of the Chaitya halls of later Buddhist architecture. The interior is a single spacious chamber with a vaulted ceiling, culminating in a stupa-like projection at the far end. The acoustics within the Lomas Rishi Cave are extraordinary, creating a sense of otherworldly resonance that amplifies even the slightest sound. But how were these caves built? The technology available at the time was rudimentary, consisting mainly of iron chisels and hammers. Carving into the hard granite would have been an arduous and time-consuming task. Yet, the sheer scale and precision of the Barabar Caves suggest a level of mastery that seems almost impossible for the time. Some scholars theorize that the Mauryans might have employed advanced techniques, perhaps even using fire to weaken the rock before chiseling. Others speculate that they might have had access to specialized tools or knowledge that has since been lost. The mystery of their construction only adds to the allure of the Barabar Caves. The Barabar Caves are not just architectural marvels, they are also repositories of history. Inscriptions found within the caves provide valuable insights into the Mauryan era, including Ashoka's edicts promoting peace and non-violence. These inscriptions show Ashoka's profound transformation from a ruthless conqueror to a benevolent ruler, a transformation that reverberated throughout the Indian subcontinent. But the Barabar Caves also raise intriguing questions. Why did Ashoka choose this particular location? Was it for its strategic importance, its natural beauty, or its spiritual significance? The story of the Barabar Caves is far from over. These ancient marvels hold more than just questions of technique and purpose. As we dig deeper into the mystery, we find that the caves are connected to a broader network of ancient secrets, some hiding in plain sight, others concealed beneath the surface of history. The Barabar Caves, it seems, are just the beginning. Let's turn our attention to the staggering amount of stone that was removed to create these caves. Carving out even one of these chambers would have required moving hundreds of tons of solid granite. While this might seem difficult enough today, with cranes and modern machinery, imagine doing it over 2,000 years ago with only basic tools. Experts estimate that the volume of rock removed from the Barabar and Nagarjuni caves combined is equivalent to the construction of an entire modern skyscraper. The caves aren't just hollow spaces, they are carefully engineered cavities with perfectly smooth walls and astonishing acoustic properties. This raises the question, were these caves intended for something far more complex than simple meditation? If we step outside the narrow confines of traditional archaeology, a number of unconventional theories begin to emerge. One of the most compelling is the possibility that these caves were not simply religious sanctuaries, but sites for ancient experiments with sound and resonance. Sound, after all, was a powerful force in many ancient cultures, believed to be a tool for healing, communication, and even construction. Could the Barabar Caves have been designed to amplify certain frequencies, perhaps to aid in meditation or to access hidden states of consciousness? Some researchers propose that the unique sound dynamics within the caves were not accidental, but were the result of advanced knowledge of acoustics, knowledge that may have been lost to time. When comparing Barabar to other ancient acoustic marvels, such as the Hypogeum of Saflieni in Malta, where low-frequency sounds resonate powerfully within the subterranean chambers, the similarities are striking. In both cases, the structures amplify sound in ways that seem unnatural. Could there have been an ancient global understanding of sound technology that allowed different cultures to manipulate their environments for spiritual or scientific purposes? But even more provocative is the idea that the Barabar Caves and the surrounding region could have been used for something much more practical. Some conspiracy theorists have speculated that these caves were not spiritual retreats, but part of a network of sites dedicated to early technological experiments, possibly in metallurgy or energy generation. Ancient India was known for its early advances in metallurgy, particularly with the discovery of Wootz steel, a high-carbon alloy that later became famous as Damascus steel. Could it be that the Barabar region, rich in iron ore, served as a hidden laboratory where ancient metallurgists conducted experiments in the production of alloys, harnessing the natural acoustic properties of the caves for unknown purposes? There's also the curious question of why the Ajivikas, a relatively obscure religious group, would commission such monumental works. Ajivikas were known for their strict ascetic practices, rejecting material wealth and worldly possessions. So why would they need such massive, intricately designed caves? Could it be that the caves had a dual purpose, both spiritual and scientific? Some researchers have suggested that the caves may have served as a place where spiritual leaders and early scientists exchanged ideas, blurring the line between religious meditation and scientific experimentation. This theory gains traction when we look at other caves and rock-cut structures in the region, like the Udayagiri and Khandagiri caves in Odisha, carved around the same time as Barabar. While Udayagiri and Kandagiri served more as monastic retreats for Jain monks, the designs are remarkably intricate, featuring tiered halls and passageways that hint at more than just religious devotion. Could these sites have been part of a larger network of spiritual and scientific centers stretching across ancient India? There is a growing belief that these cave complexes were not isolated projects, but rather the work of a sophisticated civilization, with knowledge that extended beyond the spiritual into fields like geometry, engineering, and metallurgy. Looking westward, comparisons with the Ajanta and Ellora caves in Maharashtra become even more intriguing. Unlike Barabar, the Ellora complex contains vast temple structures, including the breathtaking Kailasa temple, which was carved from a single piece of rock. What ties these sites together is the sheer scale of excavation. While Barabar focuses on precision and acoustic properties, Ellora and Ajanta showcase the massive scale and intricacy of rock-cut architecture. The fact that both were created around the same time period raises questions. Were these part of a grander pan-Indian tradition of rock-cut engineering that blended religion with early scientific understanding? Could the same knowledge have flowed between these centers, each site fulfilling different roles in a complex network of spiritual, technological, and social life? There are also strange connections to be made when examining other rock-carved sites across the world. For instance, Petra, the ancient Nabatean city in Jordan, shares some remarkable similarities with Barabar. Both were carved into solid rock, both involved an unimaginable amount of labor, and both exhibit architectural features far ahead of their time. Petra, with its elaborate facades and hidden tombs, and Barabar, with its smooth chambers and enigmatic acoustics, may have been created for vastly different purposes, yet the precision and effort involved suggest that the people who built them shared a deep understanding of stoneworking and engineering. While mainstream historians argue that these similarities are coincidental, the evidence is difficult to ignore. Were these sites merely the result of isolated advances in technology, or were ancient cultures more connected than we realize, sharing techniques and knowledge across vast distances? Then there's the question of why these caves are located where they are. The Barabar Caves are situated near Gaya, a place of immense spiritual significance in India. Gaya is not only home to the famous Bodh Gaya, where Buddha is said to have attained enlightenment, but the region itself is dotted with caves, temples, and religious sites. Could there be something about the land itself, something about the energy of the place, that made it a focal point for spiritual leaders and scientists alike?
This is quite a famous phenomenon in Turkey, that there are huge cities. They look like ant farms on an enormous scale that are dug out under the earth. Hundreds and hundreds of rooms, that huge efforts was put into digging deep beneath the earth and creating these shelters.
Nestled in the heart of Turkey's enchanting Cappadocia region lies Derinkuyu, an ancient underground city that stands as a monument to the ingenuity and resilience of bygone civilizations. Its fascinating origins, complex construction, and versatile uses offer a glimpse into a community that sought refuge beneath the Earth's surface, crafting a hidden world of remarkable depth and complexity.
And archaeology does not have a good explanation about what they're there for, or why they were built, or when they were built. They're all cut out of stone. You can only date objects that were left in them. You can't say when they were actually made.
The story of Derinkuyu begins in the 8th–7th centuries BCE, with the Phrygians, an Indo-European people renowned for their architectural skills, laying its foundation. What likely started as a modest subterranean enclave was expanded by successive cultures, each adding layers of depth and function to this architectural marvel. Notably, in the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD, early Christians seeking sanctuary from Roman persecution carved out additional living quarters, worship spaces, and communal areas.
They were used by Christians, they were used by Muslims, they were used back in 2,000 plus years ago as homes in some cases.
The construction of Derinkuyu was no small feat. It involved the excavation of approximately 2.5 million cubic meters of volcanic rock, known as tuff, which is soft enough to carve but hardens when exposed to air, ensuring stability for the city's expansive underground structures. Derinkuyu's purpose extended far beyond a mere hideout. It was a bastion during invasions and conflicts in the strategically significant region of Cappadocia.
What makes sense of those underground cities to me is that they were built as places of refuge that people could go into during an episode of meteor bombardment during the Younger Dryas.
Beyond serving as a refuge, it also offered a complete underground living environment with water wells, food storage, livestock pens, and even a prison.
They're fine. They have air vents, they have water, they're incredibly well thought out.
Its intricate layout supported a vibrant community life, with residential areas, communal kitchens, and places of worship, reflecting a society capable of sophisticated urban planning and social organization. The city's capacity to house up to 20,000 people, coupled with its advanced infrastructure, including an extensive ventilation system and a complex water distribution network, speaks volumes about the ancient world's architectural and engineering prowess.
I spent hours down there just wandering around and looking at this amazing place.
Of particular note is Derinkuyu's significance to early Christians, who found not just a safe haven, but a spiritual sanctuary within its depths. The numerous chapels and churches adorned with religious symbols and bas-reliefs provided a focal point for community and faith, underscoring the city's importance as a religious retreat. Derinkuyu, an underground world equivalent to an 18-story building below the Earth's surface. This ancient city, carved deep into the Earth to a depth of around 200 feet, provided a year-round comfortable living environment. Thanks to its cooler and more stable temperatures, it's fascinating to think about how it was designed to house up to 20,000 people, along with their livestock and possessions, showcasing an incredibly organized society, adept at managing life's necessities in such a confined yet complex space. With at least 18 levels, Derinkuyu was more than just a series of tunnels. It was a fully functioning underground metropolis. The city was meticulously organized into residential areas, communal spaces, and even sectors for livestock, indicating a society that valued structure and community. The intricate layout ensured that despite being underground, movement within the city was fluid. The city's innovative ventilation system is nothing short of remarkable. Thousands of shafts ensured that fresh air reached the deepest levels, a feat that underscores an advanced understanding of environmental control and airflow. This system was crucial for not only providing fresh air, but also for dispersing smoke from cooking and lighting, maintaining air quality for the large population residing within. But perhaps what stands out most about Derinkuyu are its defensive features. Massive stone doors could be rolled across passages to seal off the city, transforming it into a fortress at a moment's notice. The corridors, intentionally narrow, were designed to thwart large groups of invaders, allowing defenders to control movement throughout the city effectively. Moreover, the hidden entrances and exits, some connected to the surface by miles-long tunnels, speak volumes about the strategic planning that went into safeguarding the city. These secret passages allowed for stealthy entrances and exits, crucial for gathering intelligence or making escapes during sieges. Despite the extensive exploration that has peeled back some of its layers, Derinkuyu keeps parts of itself hidden, teasing the imagination with what lies in its uncharted depths. While we've uncovered much, there's still a vast expanse that remains out of reach. Safety concerns and the potential risk of collapse have kept certain sections off-limits, sparking a wildfire of speculation and theories about the full scale of this underground labyrinth. Could there be entire levels we've yet to discover, or hidden rooms filled with ancient artifacts waiting to tell their part of Derinkuyu's tale? The lore surrounding Derinkuyu and its sister cities in Cappadocia weaves a rich tapestry of tales that blur the lines between history and legend. Stories of a vast network of tunnels connecting the underground cities suggest a sophisticated system used for trade, communication, or even as escape routes from invaders.
The two that I visited in the series are Derinkuyu and Kaimakli, and these two sites are joined by an 8-kilometer tunnel underground.
While some of these tunnels have been confirmed, the full extent of this network fuels the imagination about the capabilities of ancient civilizations. Speculation about Derinkuyu's past ventures into the realms of the extraordinary. with some suggesting it might have been a refugee for extraterrestrial visitors or a remnant of a lost advanced civilization. Although such theories stretch beyond the bounds of established archaeological evidence, they underscore the fascination Derinkuyu incites, reflecting the human penchant for mystery and the unexplained. Derinkuyu is a hidden gem that tells a tale of human resilience, architectural mastery, and the intricate history of Anatolia. This ancient underground city, a sanctuary carved from the earth, speaks volumes about the lengths to which people will go to protect their beliefs, their culture, and their way of life. Imagine a time between the 1st and 3rd centuries AD when early Christians facing relentless persecution from the Roman Empire sought refuge beneath the earth's surface. Derinkuyu became their sanctuary, a place where they could practice their faith in secret away from the oppressive gaze of Roman authorities. Within this subterranean haven, they carved out chapels and churches, adorning them with frescoes that depicted scenes from the Bible and Christian iconography, creating a space that was not just about survival, but about preserving their spiritual and cultural identity. But Derinkuyu was not an isolated refuge, it was part of a vast network of underground cities in Cappadocia, connected by miles of tunnels. These connections weren't just for escape or hiding, they represented a sophisticated system for trade, communication, and strategic movement, highlighting an advanced level of social organization and urban planning in ancient Cappadocia. This network of cities underlines the region's significance as a cultural and economic hub, showcasing the ingenuity of its people in creating a cohesive and cooperative community. The modern rediscovery of Derinkuyu is as fascinating as its history. In 1963, a local stumbled upon a mysterious room behind a wall in his home, unveiling the entrance to this ancient city. This discovery captured the imagination of historians, archaeologists, and the wider public, leading to the exploration of the city and its eventual opening to tourists. Today, Derinkuyu is not just an archaeological site, it's a major tourist attraction that draws people from all over the world eager to explore its ancient passageways, chapels, and the incredible engineering behind its construction. Derinkuyu's significance has been recognized on a global scale, as it, along with other sites in the Cappadocia region, has been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This honor speaks to its value to humanity, preserving its history and architecture for future generations. The city stands as a symbol of what humans are capable of achieving when faced with existential threats, creating safe havens of remarkable complexity and beauty. Beyond its historical and architectural value, Derinkuyu serves as an educational resource, offering insights into ancient construction techniques, community living, and survival strategies. It continues to inspire and educate, reminding us of the depths of human ingenuity and the enduring spirit of communities that have faced adversity throughout history.
When I'm in a cave, I often find myself wondering, what drove these people to go so deep? I study some of the oldest art in the world, but what I'm interested in is the development of the modern mind. We've been building on the mental achievements of those who came before us for so long that it's easy to forget that certain abilities haven't already existed. It became possible for the first time for a message to be transmitted and preserved in time.
Deep in the heart of the Yorkshire Dales lies Victoria Cave, a mysterious natural wonder that was uncovered quite by chance. In 1837, while on a routine rabbit hunt, local gamekeeper Michael Horner and his companions stumbled upon a concealed fissure behind a cluster of limestone boulders. Little did they know, their accidental find would open the door to a subterranean world brimming with ancient secrets, offering an unprecedented glimpse into England's prehistoric past.
We're all fascinated by where did we come from, and we want to understand more about that story.
This discovery not only sparked curiosity, but also launched a series of explorations that would forever change our understanding of human and animal history in the region. The entrance, clogged with limestone deposits and rubble, gave a hint of the untouched secrets that lay within. When Horner and his group first stepped inside, they found themselves in a large chamber adorned with stalactites and stalagmites, indicating that the cave had remained undisturbed for thousands of years. This discovery quickly caught the attention of local naturalists and archaeologists, all eager to delve into its depths and uncover its secrets.
What was somebody doing down there with a tortuous stone lamp? This is the kind of question that I'm trying to answer with my research.
By the 1840s, Victoria Cave had become a significant site of interest for both archaeologists and paleontologists. The Yorkshire Philosophical Society, recognizing the cave's potential to provide insights into the ancient past, organized the first systematic excavation in 1844. This early exploration set the stage for the cave to become one of the key sites for understanding the prehistoric and paleontological history of the region. Building on the exploration into Victoria Cave's discovery and its initial significance, it becomes clear that the cave's contents offer a vivid snapshot into the lives of both the humans and animals that once frequented this site. Delving deeper, the findings from Victoria Cave can be organized into three revealing phases: Paleolithic tools, Pleistocene fauna, and Roman artifacts. Each phase not only illuminates specific historical periods, but also mirrors broader trends in human behavior.
We start finding burials, and not just burials, but burials with grave goods in them.
The Paleolithic tools found in the cave, dating back around 12,000 to 13,000 years ago, include flint blades and scrapers. These tools were essential for butchering animals, crafting clothing, and other survival tasks, indicating that prehistoric humans used the cave as a temporary shelter during their hunting trips. This suggests that herds of reindeer and other animals grazed in the tundra-like environment outside, drawing hunters to the area. What's particularly fascinating is the evidence of tool-making within the cave itself, suggesting it served not just as a shelter, but also as a workshop or base camp. Here, prehistoric humans could manufacture and repair their tools, benefiting from the cave's natural protection from the elements and its strategic vantage point over the valley, an ideal spot for monitoring game movements. Moving to the Pleistocene fauna, the remains found paint a picture of a cold, open landscape, vastly different from today's lush Yorkshire dales. Species like the woolly rhinoceros, reindeer, and Irish elk adapted to survive harsh winters with their thick fur and fat reserves. Among the most evocative finds are the bones of the woolly rhinoceros, an animal with no modern equivalent in Britain, but closely related to the smaller, modern Sumatran rhinoceros. This discovery underlines the dramatic shifts in climate and habitat that have occurred since the Ice Age and highlights the changes in megafauna populations over the years. The cave's later layers reveal a different type of use, with the discovery of Roman coins and ornate brooches from around the 1st to the 4th centuries AD. These artifacts indicate that the cave was not merely a habitation site, but also held significance for ritual or ceremonial purposes. The coins and jewelry might have been offerings, perhaps related to a cult, or as part of local religious practices that revered natural springs or caves as sacred sites. This continuity of use from a prehistoric shelter to a Roman ceremonial site is a pattern seen throughout Europe, where natural features like caves and springs were consistently revered across vastly different cultures and epochs. Furthermore, when comparing the use of Victoria Cave with other contemporary sites, such as the Chauvet Cave in France, a fascinating pattern in human behavior emerges.
Rock art provides us with a window into the minds of these people.
While both caves contain prehistoric art and artifacts, Victoria Cave primarily served practical purposes such as shelter and tool production. In contrast, Chauvet Cave is renowned for its spectacular Paleolithic cave paintings.
So this is really about our common humanity. This is really about our own collective heritage.
This comparison highlights the diverse ways in which prehistoric humans interacted with their environments. The exploration of Victoria Cave not only revealed a storied past, but also had a significant impact on the field of archaeology, particularly influencing how archaeologists understand and interpret historical layers. The meticulous excavation and recording methods employed in the 19th century were pivotal. They focused particularly on stratigraphy, the study of rock layers and their order, which allowed them to establish a clearer timeline of human and animal activity in the region. This methodical approach helped foster more nuanced interpretations of archaeological sites, setting new standards in the field. Exploration and excavation within Victoria Cave did not cease with these initial efforts, but continued sporadically throughout the late 19th and 20th centuries. Each phase of excavation added new layers of understanding about human history encapsulated within its walls. With the advent of modern archaeological techniques, such as radiocarbon dating and DNA analysis, our grasp of the past has become even more refined. These technologies have provided archaeologists with tools to date artifacts and remains with greater precision. Through such ongoing explorations, Victoria Cave continues to be a crucial site for piecing together human history. Continuing our exploration of significant archaeological sites, let's delve into Chauvet Cave, located in the Ardèche region of southern France. This cave, discovered in 1994 by Jean-Marie Chauvet and his team, is a treasure trove of Paleolithic art, housing some of the oldest and most remarkable prehistoric artworks known to humanity.
Most of the rock art from the prehistoric times was done long before, national borders, ethnic boundaries.
The walls of Chauvet Cave are adorned with vivid paintings and engravings, offering a unique window into the lives and beliefs of early humans who lived around 30,000 to 32,000 years ago. The discovery of the cave was somewhat accidental. On December 18, 1994, Jean-Marie Chauvet, along with Eliette Brunel and Christian Hilaire, felt a draft emanating from a cliff, prompting them to investigate further. They discovered a narrow passage that led to a network of chambers that had been sealed by a rock slide around 25,000 years ago, which helped preserve its contents in exceptional condition. Chauvet Cave is renowned not just for the antiquity of its art, but also for the variety it contains. The cave walls feature over 1,000 images depicting a wide range of subjects, including horses, lions, rhinos, bison, mammoths, and even human figures. These images are rendered with astonishing detail and sophistication, employing advanced artistic techniques that convey depth and motion. For instance, the artists used perspective drawing and took advantage of the cave's natural contours to enhance the images, giving a three-dimensional effect to the depicted animals. The techniques used at Chauvet were ahead of their time. The artists utilized charcoal and red ochre to create rich colors and employed shadows and shading to bring a dynamic quality to their creations. Some figures were even painted in a series of superimposed images, creating an effect similar to the sequential frames of a film, giving the impression of movement. Chauvet Cave is a pivotal site for studying the Aurignacian culture, known for its advanced tools and artistic expression. The well-preserved artwork offers insights not only into the artistic practices, but also into the social and spiritual lives of its creators. Radiocarbon dating indicates that the earliest paintings were created around 32,000 years ago, making them some of the oldest known human-created artworks. The depiction of predatory animals and rare human-animal hybrid figures suggests a complex belief system that possibly included shamanic elements, indicative of a sophisticated cognitive ability and a rich cultural tradition. Given the fragile nature of the cave's environment, Chauvet Cave is not open to the public to ensure its preservation for future generations. Instead, a replica cave known as the Pont d'Arc Cavern was opened in 2015, allowing visitors to experience a faithful reproduction of the artwork and cave conditions.
If you were intrigued by today's journey, then prepare to be amazed by our next adventure. We're venturing deep into the jungles of Sri Lanka to the ancient ruins of Sigiriya, where a groundbreaking discovery awaits. Hidden within this UNESCO World Heritage Site lies the Sakwala Chakraya, a mysterious stone carving believed to be an ancient stargate. Could this be a portal to other worlds? Join us as we unravel the secrets of this enigmatic marvel and delve into legends of extraterrestrial connections and advanced ancient technology. Witness the breathtaking beauty of Sigiriya with its majestic lion rock and captivating frescoes. This ancient city holds clues to a forgotten past, inviting you on an unforgettable adventure, exploring the intersection of science, history, and the unexplained.
Lost in the emerald embrace of an ancient city, a relic whispers of forgotten knowledge. Anuradhapura, Sri Lanka. Here, amongst the crumbling grandeur of a vanished empire, lies a secret that has haunted historians for centuries. Carved into the living rock, a cryptic diagram. The Sakwala Chakraya. 7 concentric circles, enigmatic symbols, and strange creatures from the deep. A puzzle box of the past, defying explanation. Is it a map of the cosmos? A blueprint for a lost technology? Or a gateway to another realm? Local legends speak of stargates and gods, of rituals that can unlock the secrets of the universe. Scientists, archaeologists, and spiritual seekers, all drawn to this enigmatic artifact. What secrets does it hold? What truths lie hidden in its silent depths? The Caucasus Mountains, a fortress of stone and ice, harboring secrets older than recorded history. Legends speak of lost civilizations and cities swallowed by the earth. In 2011, one man stumbled upon the truth behind the myths. He descended into the abyss, uncovering a mystery that would cost him his life. Nazi conspiracies, unexplained deaths, and a secret that could rewrite our understanding of the past. Carora is a monument to human ingenuity and a reminder that even in the most remote places, the echoes of ancient civilizations can still be heard. And the truth remains buried in darkness.
In the remote wilderness of the North Caucasus, nestled within the Kabardino-Balkaria Republic, lies a rugged and untouched landscape. Towering mountains and vast, desolate stretches of wilderness guard the secrets of this isolated region. Few dare to venture here, but in 2011, Russian speleologist Arthur Zhemukov uncovered something that would challenge our understanding of ancient history. While exploring the peak of Kara-Hora mountain, Zhemukov stumbled upon what appeared to be a simple vertical fissure in the earth. However, as he and his team descended, they realized this was no ordinary cave. The walls were lined with geometrically precise stone slabs, arranged so perfectly that it became clear this was the work of human hands. The shaft, which initially appeared natural, revealed itself to be a man-made structure. Driven by curiosity, the team continued their descent. The polished stone walls plunged 130 feet before opening into a vast underground hall, standing an imposing 36 meters high. The shaft itself extended over 350 feet, constructed from massive megalithic blocks that fit together with near-perfect precision. The blocks formed right angles, leaving minimal gaps between them. Such craftsmanship raised serious questions. Who could have built such a structure? And how did they achieve such accuracy? Within the hall, Zhemukov's team found stone blocks resembling columns, arranged with such care that the site appeared to have been constructed for a specific purpose. The polished walls bore an uncanny resemblance to the Grand Gallery of the Pyramid of Khufu in Egypt. As they explored further, the passageways narrowed, some becoming too tight for even a child to pass through. Although they could not fully explore the structure, the evidence pointed to a single conclusion. This was no natural cave. It was a man-made structure of astonishing complexity. The scale and precision of the megalithic blocks raised profound questions. Some of the stones weighed over 200 tons, yet they had been fitted together with minimal gaps, much like other ancient wonders. What kind of technology could have enabled such an ancient civilization to construct such a monumental structure? As word of the discovery spread, it attracted the attention of other researchers. Vadim Chernobrov, head of Cosmopoisk, a Russian organization studying anomalies, joined Zhemukov on further expeditions. Using precise measurements, Chernobrov mapped the explored sections and produced a 3D model comparing the shaft to a Soviet space rocket. His findings emphasized the artificial design of the structure. Despite the overwhelming evidence that the Carora Shaft was man-made, its purpose remained a mystery. Chernobrov speculated that it might have had a technological function, possibly serving as part of a larger machine or seismological research facility. The narrow passageways suggested the structure was not designed for habitation, but for a more obscure purpose. Other researchers put forward bolder theories, suggesting that the shaft might be part of a long-lost pyramid buried beneath the mountain. Climbers exploring the region noted that there was constant airflow within the shaft, possibly indicating it once functioned as a ventilation system for a more extensive underground complex. Regardless of differing opinions, one thing became clear. The Carora Shaft was not a natural formation. As Zhemukov continued his research, he began to uncover links between the Carora Shaft and ancient legends passed down through generations in the North Caucasus. Myths of vast underground cities, built by forgotten civilizations, seemed eerily consistent with the structure's megalithic construction and geometric precision. The evidence suggested these legends might be rooted in fact. One particularly chilling connection tied the Carora Shaft to World War II. During the war, Germany launched Operation Edelweiss, an attempt to seize the oil-rich Caucasus region. For some leaders, however, the region held more than just strategic value. Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS, had a deep fascination with the occult and believed the Caucasus might hold clues to the origins of the Aryan race. Himmler's organization, the Ahnenerbe, scoured the world for ancient knowledge. Their interest in the Caucasus region, known for its legends of underground cities, was no coincidence. Zhemukov's research revealed that German soldiers had come dangerously close to discovering the Carora Shaft during their occupation of the area. Near the entrance, they carved a swastika, a mark that suggested German researchers were on the hunt for ancient Aryan cities. Even more astonishing was the discovery of an ancient swastika near the same site, far older than when the German army first existed. Could it have been left by the civilization that built the shaft? Zhemukov believed that the Carora Shaft wasn't an isolated site. He speculated that it was part of a larger network of ancient structures, remnants of a forgotten civilization hidden deep within the Caucasus Mountains. However, just as he prepared to deepen his research, tragedy struck. In 2015, after making what he described as a significant new discovery, Zhemukov died in a car accident under mysterious circumstances. His sudden death shocked the research community, and some suspected it was no mere accident. Several other researchers connected to the Carora Shaft had also died under suspicious circumstances. Vadim Chernobrov, who had worked closely with Zhemukov on many expeditions, passed away from cancer just 2 years later. Others involved in the research also met untimely deaths, adding to the air of mystery and danger surrounding the Carora Shaft. In the years following these tragedies, exploration of the shaft came to a halt. For a time, it seemed as though the mysteries of the Carora Shaft would remain buried. However, in 2017 and 2018, a man named Alexander Sploshnov ventured into the region, capturing a series of photographs that reignited interest in the site. His photos, uploaded to social media, confirmed what Zhemukov and Chernobrov had long suspected. The Carora Shaft was not a natural formation. Sploshnov's images revealed massive stone blocks, cut with remarkable precision, as well as what appeared to be machine marks, hinting at advanced technology. Other photos showed stone formations buried beneath the soil, suggesting that the area had once been a major construction site. Despite these tantalizing discoveries, no new expeditions have been launched. The shadow cast by the deaths of those connected to the site, combined with its remote and inhospitable location, has kept the mysteries of the Carora Shaft locked away. To this day, the origin and purpose of the shaft remain unsolved. Was it part of an ancient, advanced civilization, or did it serve a purpose we have yet to understand? If proven to be man-made, the Carora Shaft would rank among the largest and most sophisticated megalithic sites on Earth. rivaling the pyramids of Egypt. Yet for now, its secrets remain hidden, waiting for a new generation of explorers brave enough to uncover them.
Deep within the unforgiving wilderness of Russia, where ancient forests whisper secrets and shadows dance with the unknown, lies a mountain shrouded in legend. Vottovaara, a place where the laws of nature seem to bend and the boundaries between the real and the supernatural blur. Here, trees twist in silent agony, their forms defying logic and reason. An unsettling silence hangs heavy in the air, broken only by the wind whistling through the skeletal branches. Life, as we know it, seems to have abandoned this place. Locals call it Death Mountain. Scattered across this desolate landscape are thousands of ancient stones, the remnants of a forgotten past. Were they placed by human hands or by forces beyond our comprehension? What secrets do they hold? Ruins emerge from the undergrowth, hinting at a lost civilization, a culture that vanished into the mists of time. Who were these people? What knowledge did they possess? And why did they disappear? On the shores of a nearby lake, ancient rock carvings whisper tales of a time before history. Strange figures and symbols, etched into the very fabric of the mountain, offer tantalizing clues to a forgotten world. Is Vottovaara a window into a lost civilization? A place where the veil between worlds is thin? Or is it merely a natural anomaly, a testament to the power of human imagination? Join us as we journey to find out.
In the remote wilderness of Russia's Karelia Republic lies Vottovaara, a mountain enveloped in legend and mystery. Locals whisper of its otherworldly energy, a place where trees twist unnaturally and ancient stones defy understanding. This rugged landscape, once part of ancient Finland, has been revered for millennia by the Sami tribes and shamans, ancestors of modern Finns. They believed Vottovaara held special spiritual power, and today it continues to draw those curious enough to unravel its unexplained phenomena. As one ascends Vottovaara, the mountain's strangeness becomes increasingly apparent. The journey begins through dense pine and fir forests, but soon the trees start to twist and contort in unnatural ways. Trunks spiral as if caught in a slow-motion dance, and branches curve downward, forming eerie shapes that challenge logic. At the summit, no tree is older than a few decades, suggesting an unseen force periodically resets the forest's life cycle, leaving a landscape frozen in endless renewal. The unsettling atmosphere is heightened by an almost supernatural silence. No birds call, no creatures scurry, and the lakes dotting the slopes are devoid of fish. This absence of life, combined with the twisted trees and desolate atmosphere, has led locals to nickname it Death Mountain. Yet, despite its eerie reputation, Vottovaara attracts explorers, spiritual seekers, and curious minds alike. Adding to the enigma are about 1,600 massive stones known as Seids, arranged across the terrain in deliberate formations. Sacred to the Sami, these stones were believed to represent spirits of nature or earth guardians. Balanced delicately on smaller rocks, they appear to float just above the ground, their massive weight seemingly defying gravity. While some scientists attribute their positions to glacial movements during the Ice Age, the precise balancing of so many stones challenges this explanation. What are the odds that 1,600 stones would rest so perfectly in such precarious positions? If these stones were placed by human hands, it raises questions about how ancient people achieved such feats. The delicate balance suggests they were placed with great care, ensuring the smaller supporting rocks weren't crushed. Could an ancient civilization have possessed advanced knowledge or tools beyond our understanding? And if so, what purpose did these Seids serve? Were they markers, altars, or part of a complex spiritual map laid across the mountain? One of the most intriguing features is a formation known as the Well. Locals speculate that this stone structure is an ancient man-made reservoir, with blocks cut into rectangular shapes too precise for natural erosion. Despite centuries of weathering that have cracked and deformed the stones, remnants of precise interlockings remain, hinting at human craftsmanship. Similar structures exist elsewhere in Europe, such as the carved tank at Bulgaria's Perperikon Sanctuary, which channels water through intricate grooves, surviving thousands of years. Might the Vottovaara well share a connection with such sites, hinting at a broader lost knowledge that spanned ancient Europe? If so, how did ancient builders across vast distances and time share similar techniques? Scattered among the megaliths are other enigmatic artifacts, smooth oval stone spheres often resting on natural pedestals. Their surfaces, worn but clearly crafted, resemble finds near the Bosnian Pyramid and in Costa Rica, where over 300 such spheres have been uncovered. Their purpose remains unknown. Were they used in ancient rituals? Symbols of lost knowledge connecting distant peoples? Or merely artistic expressions lost to time? The similarities between these objects across far-flung sites suggest connections modern science has yet to explain, leaving a tantalizing mystery. Beyond the Seids, spheres, and well, Vottovaara reveals more structures that challenge natural explanations. One appears to be the remains of ancient stairs, partially buried in the rugged terrain. The stones forming these steps are squared and smoothed, fitting together with precision that seems artificial, like a staircase leading nowhere, perhaps once part of a larger, lost complex. While some scientists suggest natural geological formations, visitors often leave with the impression that the mountain holds secrets, defying easy explanations. Another curious ruin resembles a prehistoric wall composed of large, squared stone blocks fitting together with uncanny precision. Though weathered by time, the blocks retain traces of their original smoothness, hinting at sophisticated craftsmanship. Is it possible that this wall, like other structures on Vottovaara, was built by a civilization that has vanished, taking its knowledge and techniques into history's mists? The mysteries extend beyond physical structures. On the eastern bank of Lake Onega, Europe's second largest lake, lies ancient rock art known as the Onega Petroglyphs. Carved into granite cliffs rising from the lake, these 1,200 carvings are estimated to be 5,000 to 6,000 years old. Remarkably, they use light and shadow to transform the cliffs into a prehistoric canvas that shifts with the setting sun. During the day, the carvings are nearly invisible, blending into the rocky surface. But as the sun descends, the granite turns a deep red, and the images emerge in stark relief, illuminated in a stunning natural display. It's as if the ancient artists intentionally chose this location to bring their visions to life using nature's light. The imagery of the Onega petroglyphs is as mysterious as Vottovaara itself. Unlike familiar motifs of Eurasian rock art, these carvings predominantly feature waterbirds, especially swans, etched with precision that suggests deep reverence. The most striking figure is a human-like creature with a rectangular body and an oversized square head, over 2.5 meters long. Carved into a rock overlooking Lake Onega, its placement suggests it was seen as a spiritual gateway to the netherworld by the Neolithic people. Centuries later, Christian monks defaced the figure, carving a 7-pointed orthodox cross over it, believing it to be a symbol of the devil. Their actions were part of efforts to suppress what they saw as pagan beliefs, leaving a legacy of conflict and cultural erasure. Yet, despite attempts to suppress the mountain's spiritual legacy, Vottovaara's allure endures. Today, many visitors journey to this remote region drawn by its palpable energy. They come to meditate among the ancient stones, hoping to connect with the spirits said to inhabit this mystical place. Walking among twisted trees, enigmatic formations and ancient carvings, they ponder, is Vottovaara a relic of a lost civilization where ancient knowledge intersects with unexplained natural forces? Or is it simply a natural anomaly, its reputation shaped by centuries of human imagination and wonder?
Siberia, a land of unforgiving wilderness where secrets lie frozen beneath layers of snow and ice. But in 2013, a discovery thawed out a mystery that could shatter the foundations of human history. Deep within the Shaurya Mountains, explorers stumbled upon a site that defied logic. Gigantic stone blocks, some weighing more than 3,000 tons, assembled with an impossible precision. Walls that dwarfed the pyramids of Egypt, a construction so monumental it whispered of a civilization far older and far more advanced than we ever imagined. But how could such colossal structures be built in this remote and hostile land? Who were these master builders, and what cataclysmic event could have led to their disappearance, leaving behind these enigmatic stones as a haunting monument to their existence, a silent echo of a civilization lost to time? Join us as we delve into the mystery of the Gornaya Shaurya megaliths, a journey into the heart of Siberia.
In 2013, deep in the Shaurya Mountains of southern Siberia, explorers stumbled upon a site that defied explanation. Massive stone blocks, some over 3,000 tons, arranged in formations that suggested human design. This was the beginning of the mystery of the Gornaya Shaurya megaliths, a discovery that could challenge everything we know about ancient history. The expedition, led by Georgy Sidorov, ventured into a region that had remained hidden during the Soviet era. Rising 3,600 feet above sea level, the Gornaya Shaurya site held enormous stone structures, stacked with surprising precision. Upon arrival, the team encountered granite blocks with flat surfaces and sharp angles, some towering over 140 feet high, forming what appeared to be a colossal wall stretching over 700 feet. Each block measured around 65 feet in length and stood between 16 to 23 feet tall, dimensions that dwarfed Stonehenge and the pyramids of Egypt. But one question remained. How could such immense stones have been carved, moved, and placed in this remote landscape? Sidorov's notes speculated that the site might date back 100,000 years, pushing the timeline of human construction into uncharted territory. This hypothesis remains speculative, but if accurate, it suggests an advanced civilization that vanished, leaving only these stones behind. The Gornaya Shaurya megaliths resemble other ancient structures, like the Baalbek stones in Lebanon or the Sacsayhuaman walls in Peru, sites that have puzzled archaeologists for decades. Yet Gornaya Shaurya stands apart due to the immense size of its stones and its remote location, suggesting a level of engineering far beyond what ancient humans are believed to have achieved. Adding to the mystery were circular holes and signs of melting on some stones, as if exposed to intense heat. Sidorov speculated about ancient rock fusion techniques, or even a thermonuclear event, ideas that remain controversial. What could cause such damage? Was it a natural disaster, or some unknown ancient technology? Or, as some suggest, could it be the aftermath of a cataclysmic event that destroyed whatever once stood here? The mystery deepened when the researchers' compasses malfunctioned near the stones. Sidorov suggested a negative geomagnetic field, possibly a remnant of an ancient energy source. Similar geomagnetic disturbances have been seen at other ancient sites, prompting theories that ancient people understood how to harness natural forces in ways we have yet to rediscover. But the harsh Siberian climate cut the expedition short, forcing the researchers to leave before they could find definitive answers. Yet, the clues they gathered hint at a mystery that could rewrite our understanding of ancient civilizations. If these megaliths were built by humans, they suggest a forgotten chapter of history, one with skills and knowledge beyond what we have recorded. If humans built these structures, how did they survive in such a harsh environment? And why settle in the Shoria Mountains, where winters bring deadly cold? During the last ice age, around 20,000 years ago, much of the northern hemisphere was buried under ice. Yet Siberia's mammoth steppe, a cold grassland, offered refuge. Woolly mammoths and other large animals roamed, providing resources for survival. Evidence shows that humans adapted to this land. Stone tools, ivory weapons, and the remains of hunters have been found, suggesting that people thrived here earlier than previously thought, some dating back 30,000 years, nearly twice as old as the earliest known human sites in the Americas. Could the builders of Gornaya Shoria have found a haven in this challenging environment? Gornaya Shoria invites comparisons to other mysterious sites, like Baalbek's 1,000-ton stone blocks or the precisely fitted walls of Sacsayhuaman in the Andes. These places share a common question. How did ancient peoples move and shape such massive stones without modern technology? Unlike those sites, Gornaya Shoria is far from known trade routes or civilizations, adding to the puzzle. Could similar knowledge have spread across ancient cultures, even separated by vast distances? Such theories have led to speculation about a pre-flood civilization, a society that may have existed before a cataclysm reshaped the Earth. Stories of lost civilizations, from Plato's Atlantis to the Great Flood, align with this idea. Could the Shoria megaliths be remnants of a society that thrived long before recorded history, only to be wiped away by disaster? The massive stones and their precise arrangement suggest the work of ancient builders, perhaps echoing their knowledge through similar sites around the world. Despite these theories, official research has been limited. Russian authorities classify the site as a natural formation, suggesting geological processes shaped the blocks. But without thorough archaeological investigation, this conclusion remains uncertain. Observers note the sharp angles and regular arrangement, making a natural explanation seem less likely. Could wind and water alone shape such structures, or do they reveal the mark of ancient craftsmanship? A link between Gornaya Shoria's stones and other megalithic sites, like the underwater ruins off Japan or the terraces of Pumapunku in Bolivia. The scale and precision of these sites hint that ancient builders might have shared architectural knowledge despite being separated by oceans. Could an ancient network have connected these cultures, leaving behind a global puzzle? Beyond the academic debate, Gornaya Shoria inspires more speculative ideas. What if these stones were not just the remnants of an ancient civilization, but designed with a purpose we don't yet understand? Could they have functioned as an energy center, tapping into geomagnetic forces? Some theorists point to the circular holes and signs of melting as evidence of ancient technology, perhaps a form of energy manipulation or a defensive mechanism that led to the site's destruction. These theories remain controversial but echo ancient legends, stories of cities destroyed by fire from the sky, of civilizations lost in sudden cataclysms. Tales like the sinking of Atlantis or the fall of Sodom and Gomorrah resonate with the stones of Gornaya Shoria. Could these myths hold a hidden truth about the structures beneath the Siberian wilderness? For now, the Gornaya Shoria megaliths remain an enigma, caught between myth and reality, nature and human design. Until more research is done, the truth remains buried in Siberia's frozen landscape. But if these megaliths were crafted by human hands, they could reshape our understanding of ancient history, challenging our beliefs about early human capabilities. As the sun sets over the Shoria Mountains, the megaliths stand as a silent mystery, questioning everything we know about human ingenuity. Are they remnants of a lost civilization or the result of nature's forces? Until more evidence emerges, Gornaya Shoria continues to invite speculation and wonder.
And what first drew me into it was Denisova Cave in Siberia. I think everybody's heard of the Neanderthals, and these days I think everybody's heard of the Denisovans as well. For a long time it was held that the Neanderthals were stupid, primitive subhumans. Turns out that that's not true at all. The latest scientific evidence on the Neanderthals is that they were symbolic creatures, that they did do art, that they were in every sense human, and they were in every sense human because anatomically modern humans interbred with Neanderthals. You can't interbreed with another species. Then in Russia, in Denisova Cave, they find a single pinky bone from a little finger. And what they discover is this isn't a Neanderthal. This isn't an anatomically modern human being. This is another human species who they named the Denisovans. They think they're more closely related to Neanderthals than they are to anatomically modern humans.
High above a Siberian valley, deep in the Altai Mountains, there lies a hidden enigma, Denisova Cave, a place that changed our view of human evolution forever. What secrets lie within this ancient chamber? How did a discovery here challenge everything we thought we knew? Discovered in 1977 by Russian scientists, Denisova Cave seemed like just another archaeological site in a region full of history. But this cave would soon become one of the most significant finds in anthropology. Initial digs revealed tools, animal bones, and remnants of ancient fires. Then, in 2008, a tiny pinky bone fragment was found, buried in the darkness of the cave for over 40,000 years. That single bone would change the world. At first, it seemed like a remnant of ancient human life, perhaps a Neanderthal. But the DNA revealed a mystery. It didn't match modern humans or Neanderthals. It pointed to something new, an unknown lineage that had slipped through time. They called them the Denisovans. How many other lost branches of humanity remain undiscovered? What did these beings know that we do not? It's like finding a whole new chapter in the book of human history, remarked Dr. Svante Pääbo, a pioneer in ancient DNA research. The Denisovan discovery sent shockwaves through science, not only because they existed, but because of their mysterious traits. Denisova Cave extends over 60 meters into the mountain. Its shadowy chambers held more than bones. They found tools and ornaments, bracelets of polished greenstone and pendants of mammoth ivory. Artifacts too advanced for their time. Who crafted these objects? Did they reveal a culture as complex as early humans? Or did they suggest something even stranger, interaction between Denisovans and others? It suggests a level of complexity in these societies we hadn't expected, said one researcher. Were the Denisovans artists? Did they chart the stars or communicate with distant human groups? Denisova Cave is a time capsule, preserving clues about ancient climates, creatures, and lives. But for every answer, more mysteries arise. Denisovan DNA has been found in populations thousands of miles away in Southeast Asia and Australia. How did they spread so far? Were they explorers, crossing oceans or navigating mountain passes long before recorded history? Unlike the robust Neanderthals and artistic Homo sapiens, the Denisovans appear to blend traits from both. Their DNA in Melanesians and Aboriginal Australians suggests ancient intermingling. Were they a hidden lineage, or did they play a key role in shaping humanity? The cave's secrets blur the line between myth and reality. Could ancient Siberian folklore of giants be memories of Denisovans? Or might they link to myths of lost civilizations, stories of advanced peoples who vanished without a trace? Some believe the true extent of the Denisovans' knowledge has been hidden. What could be so dangerous about their story? Did these ancient humans have knowledge beyond what we credit them for? An understanding of the stars, or travel skills rivaling the Mesopotamians? Since the Pinky Bones discovery, archaeologists have found more Denisovan remains: teeth, skull fragments, and tools. One molar, massive and robust, suggested a species physically distinct from Neanderthals and humans. Its size resembled earlier human ancestors, yet it lay beside advanced artifacts. How could primitive features coexist with complex behavior? It is as if the Denisovans were a bridge between ancient hominids and modern humans. Some scientists believe they had larger brains or unique spatial awareness, giving them a deeper understanding of their world. Others suggest they perceived reality differently, in ways beyond our comprehension. Consider the Denisovan bracelet, delicately carved, with a hole drilled so precisely that it suggests a type of drill beyond their time. Could this be forgotten technology or even contact with other realms, as some theorists suggest? Skeptics dismiss these ideas, but the mysteries of Denisova continue to fuel debate. The Altai Mountains are filled with hidden histories. Nearby caves hold traces of Neanderthals and early Homo sapiens, but none rival the depth of Denisova's findings. It's as if this cave was a crossroads, where ancient cultures converged, shared knowledge, and then vanished. Comparing Denisova to the famous Lascaux caves in France reveals a striking contrast. In Lascaux, paintings depict a world of animals and beliefs, early human expression. Denisova's secrets are buried in genetic codes and tools. Lascaux is a window into the mind. Denisova challenges the boundaries of evolution. And the question persists. What else remains in the darkness of Denisova Cave? Each new discovery makes the Denisovan story more intricate. Are we uncovering a forgotten people or understanding a hidden part of ourselves? What truths remain in the shadows? What revelations about our past might be waiting? The discoveries here reach far beyond a cave in Siberia. They touch on fundamental questions of who we are and where we come from. Imagine a world where Denisovans, Neanderthals, and early Homo sapiens coexisted, crossing icy rivers and forests. A world where different branches of humanity exchanged ideas, skills, and stories. Could the Denisovans have been among the first explorers of Asia? Did their knowledge shape later cultures? Some scientists propose Denisovans played a role in early human migrations. Their genetic footprint in Southeast Asia and Oceania suggests a wide range. The mysteries go beyond the cave walls. Denisovan DNA still lingers in some populations, influencing traits like immune responses and high-altitude adaptation. In Tibet, Denisovan genes help people thrive in thin air, an ancient gift from a species long gone. Understanding them helps us understand ourselves. As new excavations continue, the story of Denisova Cave unfolds. The caves of Siberia hold secrets that could change how we see ourselves, secrets that might challenge everything we believe about human history. What lies buried, waiting for discovery? Perhaps the most important clues still lie beneath the surface, in the silence of time. The answers may lie in Denisova Cave, waiting to challenge everything we think we know about humankind. With each new clue, the mystery only deepens.
The Pazyryk believed that after they died, they would go to a mountain pasture. Ukok seems to me the sort of place where the souls of the Pazyryk would have gathered. You feel that you're about to unveil a secret when you open the lid. You don't know what's inside. A face or something else might appear through the ice.
The discovery of the Siq Princess, a mummified woman in Siberia, remains one of the most mysterious and unexplained archaeological findings in recent history. This mysterious event, which occurred in the early 1970s, has sparked numerous theories and continues to intrigue researchers and scientists. The Siq Princess was discovered in September 1969 in the village of Rzavchik Tisulskago, located in the Tisul district of Kemerovo Oblast, Siberia.
One of the most important discoveries this century in the context of archaeological discipline
The unearthing of the mummy was purely accidental, resulting from the routine mining activities in the area. A local miner named Karpov stumbled upon a large, solid casket buried approximately 70 feet underground while excavating a coal mine. As Karpov and his colleagues worked to extract the casket, they were taken aback by its unusual design and pristine condition. The casket, made of a type of pinkish-white marble and sealed with an unknown black resin, stood out against the surrounding earth and coal. Upon closer inspection, they noticed that the resin had preserved the casket in such a way that it appeared almost new, despite the coal around it being millions of years old. The miners, driven by curiosity and a sense of duty to uncover what they had found, decided to open the casket. To their astonishment, the interior was filled with a pinkish-blue liquid that seemed to have preserved the contents perfectly. Inside, they found the remarkably well-preserved body of a woman. She appeared to be in her 30s, with European features, long, dark hair, and dressed in a delicate lace dress. Her hands were crossed over her chest and she wore an ornate silver tiara on her head. The woman's body showed no signs of decay, and her skin retained a lifelike elasticity and color, almost as if she were merely sleeping. This level of preservation, especially in such an ancient burial, was unprecedented. Additionally, the advanced craftsmanship of her dress and accessories suggested a high level of civilization and technological prowess that contradicted the historical timeline of human development. Word of the discovery quickly spread throughout the village and beyond. Local authorities were notified, and soon after, a team of Soviet scientists and archaeologists arrived at the site to examine the find. The initial excitement was tempered by a sense of caution and concern, as the discovery posed numerous unanswered questions and potential ramifications. The scientists who inspected the casket and its contents were baffled. The preservation method, the composition of the preserving liquid, and the advanced nature of the artifacts found with the body all defied conventional understanding. Preliminary tests indicated that the burial dated back tens of thousands of years, which contradicted established historical and archaeological records of human civilization in the region. Several aspects of the Tsul Princess discovery added to its mysterious nature. Firstly, the depth at which the casket was found suggested it had been buried for an extraordinarily long period, far beyond the scope of known human history. Secondly, the preservation liquid, upon analysis, contained a complex mixture of chemicals that did not match any known natural or synthetic substances available at the time. Moreover, the fact that the woman appeared to be of European descent in a region historically inhabited by nomadic tribes added another layer of intrigue. Her sophisticated attire and the craftsmanship of her accessories hinted at a highly advanced and possibly forgotten civilization. As the implications of the discovery became apparent, the Soviet government took a keen interest in the case. The site was quickly cordoned off, and all information related to the find was classified. The casket and the remains of the Tsul Princess were transported to a secure research facility for further study. Researchers were sworn to secrecy, and local villagers were warned not to speak of the event. This level of secrecy fueled numerous conspiracy theories and speculative narratives about the true nature of the Tsul Princess. Some suggested that the discovery posed a significant threat to the established historical narrative, while others believed it was evidence of extraterrestrial involvement or an advanced ancient civilization. In the years following the discovery, information about the Tsul Princess remained scarce and highly controlled. Occasional leaks and accounts from those involved in the original find suggested that the researchers had made significant but undisclosed breakthroughs in understanding the preservation techniques and the origins of the artifacts. One particularly intriguing theory that emerged was the idea that the Tsul Princess could be an ancient escape pod from an advanced civilization that had either originated on Earth and disappeared or come from another planet. This theory was partly fueled by the advanced technology evident in the preservation methods and the composition of the casket and its contents. Despite the Soviet government's tight control over information, some details about the Tsul Princess continued to emerge through unofficial channels. Researchers who had worked on the project, bound by secrecy, occasionally hinted at breakthroughs that defied conventional scientific understanding. These revelations further fueled public curiosity and speculation. One of the key areas of research focused on the chemical composition of the preserving liquid found in the casket. Analysis revealed that the liquid contained a complex mixture of substances, including elements that were either extremely rare or unknown to modern science. This discovery led some researchers to hypothesize that the liquid was not naturally occurring, but rather synthetically engineered by a highly advanced civilization. Another area of interest was the casket itself, made of a type of marble not found in the region and sealed with an unknown black resin. The casket's construction suggested a level of technological sophistication far beyond what was believed possible for the time period, indicated by preliminary dating. The precision of the sealing and the preservation of the body indicated that the people who created it possessed advanced knowledge of material science and preservation techniques. Several unique and interesting facts emerged about the Tissule Princess and her burial site. For instance, her ornate silver tiara, upon closer inspection, was found to contain intricate engravings and symbols that did not match any known language or writing system. This led some to speculate that it might be a form of communication or record-keeping from a lost civilization. Additionally, the dress worn by the Tissule Princess was made from a type of fabric that was both incredibly fine and durable, suggesting advanced textile production techniques. The fabric's weave was unlike anything seen in historical records, further complicating efforts to place her within a known historical context. The casket's location also raised intriguing questions. Found deep within a coal seam, the burial site was millions of years old, predating the emergence of modern humans. This anachronism suggested either that the casket had been deliberately placed there by an unknown civilization with advanced capabilities, or that it had somehow ended up there through means that defied current understanding of geological and archaeological processes. Theories about the origins and significance of the Tissule Princess abound, ranging from the plausible to the fantastical. One of the more popular theories is that she was a member of a highly advanced ancient civilization that had achieved remarkable technological and scientific advancements before mysteriously disappearing. This theory posits that her burial was a form of preservation, intended to protect her body and knowledge for future generations. Another theory, which delves into the realm of science fiction, suggests that the Tissule Princess was part of an ancient escape pod from an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. Proponents of this theory point to the advanced preservation techniques and the unknown materials as evidence that the technology used was not of this Earth. They speculate that she might have been a member of a spacefaring race that visited Earth millions of years ago, only to leave behind a cryptic legacy. Several mysterious coincidences have added to the intrigue surrounding the Tissule Princess. For example, shortly after the discovery, several individuals involved in the excavation and initial examination reportedly fell ill under unexplained circumstances. Some accounts even suggest that a few of these individuals died suddenly, leading to rumors of a curse or contamination related to the casket and its contents. Furthermore, there have been reports of unusual phenomena in the vicinity of the discovery site. Villagers have claimed to witness strange lights in the sky and unexplained electrical disturbances since the casket was unearthed. These occurrences have led some to believe that the site might hold residual energy or technology from the advanced civilization that created the casket. Another curious aspect is the timing of the discovery. It occurred during the height of the Cold War, a period marked by intense secrecy and competition between superpowers. Some theorists suggest that the Soviet government's swift and decisive actions to secure and classify the find indicate its potential significance in the geopolitical landscape at the time. The secrecy and tight control over information have only fueled further speculation and conspiracy theories. The discovery of the Tissule Princess remains one of the most fascinating and mysterious archaeological finds of the 20th century.
The last object caused an event known as the Tunguska Event. What it did was it blew up in the sky. It was an airburst. Fortunately, happened over an uninhabited area of Siberia.
Do you believe that officials at the highest levels of our national security have unlawfully withheld information from Congress?
There are certain elected leaders that had more information that I would not be surprised.
Siberia, a vast region that stretches across the eastern part of Russia, has long fascinated explorers, scientists, and historians with its remote beauty, with its vast and remote landscapes, has long been a fertile ground for the development of various intriguing theories and conspiracies.
It was long held that there was only one founding population, and that their route was up through Siberia. The first settlers made it to the Americas.
These range from the plausible to the fantastical, reflecting human fascination with the unknown and the mysterious aspects of this expansive region.
They are clearly protecting or preserving something under, I believe it's 3 miles of ice.
The Tunguska Event of 1908 is a tale that sounds like something straight out of a science fiction novel. Imagine a massive explosion occurring in the remote Siberian wilderness, flattening an estimated 80 million trees across an area as vast as 2,150 square kilometers. What's even more baffling is that this colossal event left behind no impact crater, fueling decades of speculation and a variety of theories aiming to explain what exactly happened near the stony Tunguska River that day. At the heart of the scientific quest to unravel this mystery is the leading explanation that points to an airburst from a meteoroid or comet as the culprit. Picture a cosmic body, about 50 to 60 meters in diameter, hurtling towards Earth and exploding in the atmosphere with the energy equivalent to 10 to 15 megatons of TNT. This scenario is not only dramatic, but also backed by eyewitness accounts of a bright flash and a scorching hot wind. Further support comes from studies revealing microscopic glass spheres in the soil, evidence of the high-temperature melting you'd expect from such a meteoritic explosion. Yet the human mind loves a good mystery, and the Tunguska event has spawned some of the more exotic and outlandish theories. Take, for instance, the hypothesis of a mini black hole zipping through Earth, entering our atmosphere over Tunguska and exiting on the other side. It's a theory straight out of a sci-fi thriller, complete with massive energy release and no impact crater. But as you might guess, this theory lacks hard evidence and strays far from the realm of empirical science. Then there's the antimatter theory, suggesting that the explosion resulted from a matter-antimatter annihilation. This idea taps into our fascination with cosmic phenomena, proposing an immense release of energy as a tiny amount of antimatter meets matter in our atmosphere. Although it makes for an intriguing plotline, this theory too lacks the support of direct evidence and ventures into speculative territory, given the rarity of antimatter in our universe. Some speculate that the explosion was the result of an extraterrestrial spacecraft, either crashing or intentionally detonating above the surface. While this theory might fuel endless debates and what-if scenarios, it falls short in the evidence department. Another intriguing proposition is that the Tunguska event was the test of a secret weapon, perhaps by Tsarist Russia. The idea that a nation in the early 20th century could possess a weapon capable of such destruction adds a layer of intrigue to the mystery. However, like the others, this theory stumbles on the lack of historical evidence and the sheer implausibility of such advanced technology existing at the time. When we compare these theories, the meteoroid or comet airburst stands out as the most scientifically plausible explanation. It's grounded in a significant body of evidence, from the pattern of treefall to the presence of extraterrestrial spherules in the soil. This evidence paints a picture consistent with known meteorite impacts, albeit on a much larger scale. In contrast, the alternative theories, though they capture the imagination, fall short of empirical support and often contradict our current understanding of science. In the annals of history, few inventors spark the imagination quite like Nikola Tesla, a man whose vision for the future was as vast as it was ahead of his time. Among his ambitious projects, the Wardenclyffe Tower stands out as a testament to his dream of wirelessly transmitting power and communications across the globe. Situated in Shoreham, New York, this tower was Tesla's bold attempt to distribute free energy to any point on Earth and to send messages as far as Paris. Despite its potential, the project was never completed, largely due to financial woes. Tesla's claims about the tower's capabilities were grandiose, with promises of effects felt all over the globe. This backdrop sets the stage for one of the more tantalizing speculative theories linking Tesla's innovations directly to the mysterious Tunguska event of 1908. Imagine Tesla, under the immense pressure to showcase the fruits of his labor, deciding to conduct a dramatic demonstration of his wireless energy transmission technology. The theory posits that he directed a massive surge of energy towards the Arctic, only for this experiment to veer off course spectacularly, resulting in the massive explosion witnessed in the remote Siberian wilderness. Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower was indeed designed to harness the Earth's ionosphere for the wireless transmission of energy. Theorists who connect Tesla to Tunguska speculate that he had unlocked a method to focus this energy to a pinpoint location, utilizing the Earth and its atmospheric layers as conduits. The timing is intriguing, with the Tunguska Event occurring in 1908, a period when Tesla would have been eager to validate his life's work. However, the remote location chosen for this supposed demonstration raises questions, with the ensuing disaster allegedly unintended. Despite the captivating narrative, the technological and scientific realities present significant hurdles. The sheer scale of energy required to cause an event mirroring the destruction at Tunguska surpasses what was conceivable for Tesla or indeed any technology of the era. There's also a conspicuous absence of any historical documentation or Tesla's own accounts suggesting an experiment of this nature took place, particularly one targeting the Arctic. Moreover, had Tesla indeed transmitted energy capable of leveling forests over such a vast distance, the atmospheric disturbances would have been noticeable well beyond Siberia, likely manifesting as widespread auroras or other phenomena. Yet no records of such effects exist. Additionally, the lack of any man-made physical evidence at the Tunguska site and the explosion's characteristics align more closely with an extraterrestrial object's airburst, further distancing Tesla from the event. The speculation around Tesla's connection to the Tunguska explosion weaves an intriguing tapestry of what-ifs, blending the legendary inventor's groundbreaking aspirations with one of the 20th century's greatest scientific mysteries. Yet when dissected under the lens of available evidence and scientific feasibility, the theory remains just that, a speculation. Nikola Tesla, the man whose inventions lit up the world, is no stranger to the world of mystery and speculation. His work on alternating current, the Tesla coil, and early radio technology fundamentally changed the course of human history. His claims of developing technologies for wireless electricity, death rays, and even weather modification have sparked endless debate and fascination. However, it's the whispers of his lost experiments, particularly those possibly conducted in the remote expanse of Siberia, that have captured the imagination. The allure of Tesla's unrevealed inventions and Siberia's mysterious vastness weaves a compelling narrative. Among the most intriguing are suggestions that Tesla tested 2 to 3 of his most speculative inventions in Siberia: advanced energy weapons and earthquake machines. The notion of Tesla, possibly in league with the Russian government, unleashing the power of a directed energy weapon in the isolation of Siberia, is the stuff of legends. This death ray was said to be capable of downing aircraft from hundreds of miles away, a claim that, while never demonstrated, has nonetheless fueled speculative fires for decades. But how plausible are these theories? The truth is, there's no concrete evidence to suggest Tesla ever set foot in Siberia or carried out experiments there. His later years were marked by financial hardship and a gradual withdrawal from the public eye, making the logistics of such a venture highly improbable. Furthermore, the tales of Tesla's earthquake machine, a device that could supposedly trigger tremors, add another layer. While Tesla did experiment with mechanical oscillators, the leap from a small-scale laboratory experiment to triggering seismic events in Siberia is a giant one. When we compare these speculative Siberian adventures with Tesla's documented work, we find both similarities and stark differences. Tesla's public demonstrations of his inventions show a man keen on sharing his discoveries with the world. This openness contrasts sharply with the secretive nature of the supposed Siberian experiments, which remain to this day shrouded in mystery and without a shred of concrete proof.
These caves are incredible. I don't even want to call them caves because it's called the Barabar Caves, but these things are not caves. Does that look like a cave to anyone?
That looks
No.
like the entrance to a spaceship. That's
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's like a single granite
vein.
One huge piece.
Deep in the heart of India, shrouded in the mists of ancient history, lies a marvel of engineering and artistry that continues to baffle and amaze. The Barabar Caves, a series of rock-cut chambers carved into the granite hills of Bihar, India, the oldest rock-carved caves that exists to date. What secrets do they hold? How were they built? And what purpose did they serve? Could humans really have created this ancient wonder? The Barabar Caves, discovered in the early 19th century, are believed to be the oldest surviving examples of rock-cut architecture in India, dating back to the 3rd century BC. They were commissioned by Ashoka the Great, the Mauryan emperor who famously converted to Buddhism after the bloody Kalinga War. These caves were meant to serve as retreats for monks and ascetics seeking spiritual enlightenment. What is immediately striking about the Barabar Caves is the sheer precision and polish of their construction. The walls and ceilings are so smooth, they seem almost mirrored. The interiors are devoid of any ornamentation, emphasizing their austere and contemplative purpose. Even today, after more than 2 millennia, the echo of a whisper reverberates through these chambers, creating an ethereal atmosphere. The most iconic of the Barabar Caves is the Lomas Rishi Cave, distinguished by its unique horseshoe-shaped entrance, reminiscent of the Chaitya halls of later Buddhist architecture. The interior is a single spacious chamber with a vaulted ceiling, culminating in a stupa-like projection at the far end. The acoustics within the Lomas Rishi Cave are extraordinary, creating a sense of otherworldly resonance that amplifies even the slightest sound. But how were these caves built? The technology available at the time was rudimentary, consisting mainly of iron chisels and hammers. Carving into the hard granite would have been an arduous and time-consuming task. Yet, the sheer scale and precision of the Barabar Caves suggest a level of mastery that seems almost impossible for the time. Some scholars theorize that the Mauryans might have employed advanced techniques, perhaps even using fire to weaken the rock before chiseling. Others speculate that they might have had access to specialized tools or knowledge that has since been lost. The mystery of their construction only adds to the allure of the Barabar Caves. The Barabar Caves are not just architectural marvels, they are also repositories of history. Inscriptions found within the caves provide valuable insights into the Mauryan era, including Ashoka's edicts promoting peace and non-violence. These inscriptions show Ashoka's profound transformation from a ruthless conqueror to a benevolent ruler, a transformation that reverberated throughout the Indian subcontinent. But the Barabar Caves also raise intriguing questions. Why did Ashoka choose this particular location? Was it for its strategic importance, its natural beauty, or its spiritual significance? The story of the Barabar Caves is far from over. These ancient marvels hold more than just questions of technique and purpose. As we dig deeper into the mystery, we find that the caves are connected to a broader network of ancient secrets, some hiding in plain sight, others concealed beneath the surface of history. The Barabar Caves, it seems, are just the beginning. Let's turn our attention to the staggering amount of stone that was removed to create these caves. Carving out even one of these chambers would have required moving hundreds of tons of solid granite. While this might seem difficult enough today, with cranes and modern machinery, imagine doing it over 2,000 years ago with only basic tools. Experts estimate that the volume of rock removed from the Barabar and Nagarjuni caves combined is equivalent to the construction of an entire modern skyscraper. The caves aren't just hollow spaces, they are carefully engineered cavities with perfectly smooth walls and astonishing acoustic properties. This raises the question, were these caves intended for something far more complex than simple meditation? If we step outside the narrow confines of traditional archaeology, a number of unconventional theories begin to emerge. One of the most compelling is the possibility that these caves were not simply religious sanctuaries, but sites for ancient experiments with sound and resonance. Sound, after all, was a powerful force in many ancient cultures, believed to be a tool for healing, communication, and even construction. Could the Barabar Caves have been designed to amplify certain frequencies, perhaps to aid in meditation or to access hidden states of consciousness? Some researchers propose that the unique sound dynamics within the caves were not accidental, but were the result of advanced knowledge of acoustics, knowledge that may have been lost to time. When comparing Barabar to other ancient acoustic marvels, such as the Hypogeum of Saflieni in Malta, where low-frequency sounds resonate powerfully within the subterranean chambers, the similarities are striking. In both cases, the structures amplify sound in ways that seem unnatural. Could there have been an ancient global understanding of sound technology that allowed different cultures to manipulate their environments for spiritual or scientific purposes? But even more provocative is the idea that the Barabar Caves and the surrounding region could have been used for something much more practical. Some conspiracy theorists have speculated that these caves were not spiritual retreats, but part of a network of sites dedicated to early technological experiments, possibly in metallurgy or energy generation. Ancient India was known for its early advances in metallurgy, particularly with the discovery of Wootz steel, a high-carbon alloy that later became famous as Damascus steel. Could it be that the Barabar region, rich in iron ore, served as a hidden laboratory where ancient metallurgists conducted experiments in the production of alloys, harnessing the natural acoustic properties of the caves for unknown purposes? There's also the curious question of why the Ajivikas, a relatively obscure religious group, would commission such monumental works. Ajivikas were known for their strict ascetic practices, rejecting material wealth and worldly possessions. So why would they need such massive, intricately designed caves? Could it be that the caves had a dual purpose, both spiritual and scientific? Some researchers have suggested that the caves may have served as a place where spiritual leaders and early scientists exchanged ideas, blurring the line between religious meditation and scientific experimentation. This theory gains traction when we look at other caves and rock-cut structures in the region, like the Udayagiri and Khandagiri caves in Odisha, carved around the same time as Barabar. While Udayagiri and Khandagiri served more as monastic retreats for Jain monks, the designs are remarkably intricate, featuring tiered halls and passageways that hint at more than just religious devotion. Could these sites have been part of a larger network of spiritual and scientific centers stretching across ancient India? There is a growing belief that these cave complexes were not isolated projects, but rather the work of a sophisticated civilization with knowledge that extended beyond the spiritual into fields like geometry, engineering, and metallurgy. Looking westward, comparisons with the Ajanta and Ellora caves in Maharashtra become even more intriguing. Unlike Barabar, the Ellora complex contains vast temple structures, including the breathtaking Kailasa temple, which was carved from a single piece of rock. What ties these sites together is the sheer scale of excavation. While Barabar focuses on precision and acoustic properties, Ellora and Ajanta showcase the massive scale and intricacy of rock-cut architecture. The fact that both were created around the same time period raises questions. Were these part of a grander pan-Indian tradition of rock-cut engineering that blended religion with early scientific understanding? Could the same knowledge have flowed between these centers, each site fulfilling different roles in a complex network of spiritual, technological, and social life? There are also strange connections to be made when examining other rock-carved sites across the world. For instance, Petra, the ancient Nabatean city in Jordan, shares some remarkable similarities with Barabar. Both were carved into solid rock, both involved an unimaginable amount of labor, and both exhibit architectural features far ahead of their time. Petra, with its elaborate facades and hidden tombs, and Barabar, with its smooth chambers and enigmatic acoustics, may have been created for vastly different purposes, yet the precision and effort involved suggest that the people who built them shared a deep understanding of stoneworking and engineering. While mainstream historians argue that these similarities are coincidental, the evidence is difficult to ignore. Were these sites merely the result of isolated advances in technology, or were ancient cultures more connected than we realize, sharing techniques and knowledge across vast distances? Then there's the question of why these caves are located where they are. The Barabar Caves are situated near Gaya, a place of immense spiritual significance in India. Gaya is not only home to the famous Bodh Gaya, where Buddha is said to have attained enlightenment, but the region itself is dotted with caves, temples, and religious sites. Could there be something about the land itself, something about the energy of the place, that made it a focal point for spiritual leaders and scientists alike?
Mohenjo-daro, in this valley, the buildings turned to glass. The sand turned to glass, and the bodies are still laying in the street right now today, holding hands, never been scavenged by animals.
They had no historical evidence of that. There's no text. It was not mentioned in any books. It was
Really?
Yep. It was found as an accident. They found it by accident.
This is evidence of a nuclear war. That's 3,000 plus degree temperature weapons fire.
They explain how the devastation looks, right? They talk about how high the temperature goes, how it looked like a sun when the explosion happened, how all the vegetation was completely wiped off and there were no plants or trees growing for the next 12 to 25 years.
They describe them as weapons that once released can't be revolted or can't be turned back, and that they will obliterate any area, any city. And they say that one of the weapons can destroy any man on 3 worlds. It's crazy stuff. This is where Oppenheimer got his famous quote when he obviously tested the nuke.
I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
In the scorching deserts of southern Pakistan lies an archaeological site that defies explanation, a city frozen in time, now shrouded in mystery and the whispers of lost civilizations. Welcome to Mohenjo-Daro. Once a thriving metropolis during the height of the ancient Indus Valley civilization, this city's remains have puzzled researchers for nearly a century. But why does this city, over 4,000 years old, seem to vanish suddenly from history? Could it be that some catastrophic event wiped it off the map? Perhaps even turning parts of it into glass? Discovered in 1922 by an Indian archaeologist, R.D. Banerjee, Mohenjo-Daro is located on the banks of the Indus River. What the world came to learn through its excavations was the stunning complexity of this civilization. At its peak, Mohenjo-Daro housed as many as 40,000 inhabitants. But the real intrigue lies in its infrastructure, a grid-like city layout, advanced water drainage systems, and meticulously built homes made of baked bricks, a city so well organized that it rivals modern urban planning techniques. But who were these people, and what led to their mysterious disappearance? Let's start by looking at what they built. The city is constructed using uniform, fired bricks, with some weighing over 15 pounds. The scale of the city is impressive, spanning more than 300 hectares, roughly the size of 500 football fields. Each house was carefully positioned to align with the cardinal directions. But how did an ancient civilization develop such precision without modern technology? A central structure, known as the Great Bath, is another remarkable feature of Mohenjo-Daro. Measuring 12 meters long and 7 meters wide, the bath is built with watertight bricks and a sophisticated drainage system, indicating that water held immense significance for the people of Mohenjo-Daro. It is one of the earliest public waterworks ever discovered. But what was the purpose of this massive structure? Was it purely for hygiene, or did it have deeper, possibly spiritual, significance? Let's pause to consider the most perplexing discovery. Some sections of the ruins appear to have been subjected to extremely high temperatures, enough to melt or vitrify stone, turning it into glass. This phenomenon is known as vitrification, something typically associated with nuclear explosions or volcanic activity. Yet, no evidence of volcanic activity or natural firestorms has been found in the region. Could it be that some ancient technology, lost to time, was capable of unleashing such destructive energy? Some theorists have gone so far as to suggest that Mohenjo-Daro might have been destroyed by an ancient nuclear explosion. It sounds far-fetched, but the vitrified remains beg for an explanation. But the mysteries don't end there. Among the discoveries were over 40 human skeletons, lying in the streets and various parts of the city. These remains were not buried in the traditional sense, indicating that whatever caused the downfall of Mohenjo-Daro was sudden and violent. Many of these skeletons showed no signs of trauma, yet some were found in postures suggesting they were fleeing from something. What could have caused such mass panic and sudden death? Was it a natural disaster, a catastrophic flood, or perhaps something even more terrifying? Now, consider this. The massive stone blocks and materials used in the city's construction were not native to the immediate region. In fact, some of the stones used in Mohenjo-Daro's construction had to be transported from quarries located over 300 kilometers away. How did they manage to move such enormous stones without the aid of modern machinery? Could they have had access to technologies we still don't fully understand? This comparison often draws parallels to the pyramids of Egypt and the stone structures of South America, where similarly, large stones were transported over great distances. The sheer size and weight of the materials used in these ancient cities challenge our understanding of what was possible in the ancient world. Another fascinating question arises when we consider the precision of Mohenjo-Daro's urban layout. The city's advanced planning and uniformity seem almost out of place in the ancient world. How did a society living over 4,000 years ago manage to create such an organized and structured cityscape without modern surveying tools? It's as though they were working with knowledge that far exceeded their time. Could they have been influenced by some advanced, now forgotten culture? Some theorists have even suggested extraterrestrial intervention, pointing to the similarity between Mohenjo-Daro's design and other mysterious ancient sites across the world. But what happened to this great city? Why was it abandoned so suddenly? While some archaeologists believe that environmental factors, such as flooding from the nearby Indus River, might have played a role, the evidence of extreme heat and vitrified ruins adds an ominous layer to the mystery. Could the people of Mohenjo-Daro have been the victims of an ancient catastrophe so powerful that it erased them from history almost instantly? As we delve deeper into the mysteries of Mohenjo-Daro, we must also consider the broader context of the Indus Valley civilization. This civilization was one of the largest of the ancient world, spanning parts of modern-day Pakistan, India, and Afghanistan. Yet despite its vast size, we know shockingly little about its people, their language, or their beliefs. Their script remains undeciphered, and their disappearance from history is as sudden as it is puzzling. And what about the artifacts found here? Pottery, jewelry, and even toys have been unearthed, but perhaps the most enigmatic discovery is the so-called dancing girl, a bronze statuette of a young woman that seems to exude a sense of sophistication and artistic flair far beyond what we would expect from a society of this age. Who was she? What role did she play in this mysterious civilization? Now, what could have caused a thriving civilization to vanish seemingly overnight? Let's begin with the most debated theory, the possibility of an ancient nuclear catastrophe. At first glance, the idea of nuclear technology existing over 4,000 years ago seems impossible. Yet, the vitrified ruins, sections of stone turned to glass by intense heat, suggest that something extraordinary happened here. In the 1970s, physicist Dr. Robert Oppenheimer, who led the Manhattan Project during World War II, was asked if the nuclear bomb tested in 1945 was the world's first atomic explosion. His response was chilling. Well, yes, in modern times. Was he hinting at an ancient nuclear event? Could Mohenjo-Daro have been the site of such an explosion? Adding to the intrigue is the lack of traditional warfare evidence in the city. No mass graves, no clear signs of battle, no damage to the structures that would suggest a large-scale conflict. Instead, the bodies found in the city were seemingly untouched by violence, lying in the streets as though something much more sinister and sudden occurred. Could this have been an accident, a release of untamed energy, or something more deliberate, akin to a weapon of unimaginable power? Then, there's the question of the city's eerie disappearance. Unlike other ancient cities that gradually declined over time, Mohenjo-Daro appears to have been abandoned swiftly, almost as if its inhabitants knew that staying would lead to their demise.
Indian culture is extremely, extremely ancient. We have to accept that civilization in India is at least 5,000 years old. That is one of the mistakes in looking for a quote-unquote advanced civilization in the past, is that we tend to be looking for ourselves. Whereas it's possible for a civilization to be advanced in other ways.
Could the astonishing Kailasa temple at the Ellora Caves, carved meticulously from a single massive rock, truly be the work of mere mortal hands?
There is a particular seal that has survived, and it shows a figure which is recognizable as the god Shiva.
This ancient architectural marvel, built in the 8th century under the patronage of King Krishna of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, stands as a monument not only to devotion and artistry, but also to an engineering prowess that seems almost superhuman.
I think we're confronted by an enormous mystery with megalithic sites all around the world, and we don't understand them properly.
With its elaborate carvings and grand scale, the Kailasa temple has sparked a captivating debate. Was this colossal structure really constructed using primitive tools of the age, or does it bear evidence of intervention by an advanced civilization, possibly beyond our earthly realm?
Some people think that the answer is extraterrestrial visitors. I don't think that's the answer, but who knows?
Tucked away in the basaltic hills of Maharashtra, the Ellora Caves complex is an architectural marvel of ancient India. Spanning from 600 to 1000 AD, these caves house a remarkable blend of Buddhist, Hindu, and Jain heritage. Among them, Cave 16, better known as the Kailasa Temple, stands out as the crowning glory of the site. Historically referred to as Veral, the area's location along ancient north-south trade routes undoubtedly played a critical role in its development. The Kailasa Temple, known for being the largest monolithic rock excavation in the world, showcases the advanced state of engineering and architectural skills during the 8th century. This temple was not built but rather carved top-down from a single massive rock, requiring meticulous planning and execution that speaks volumes about the capabilities of its creators.
There are unexplained issues in our past, which are presently not explained by the system that teaches us about the past.
Under the patronage of King Krishna I of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, the temple was commissioned around the mid-8th century. King Krishna I, also known as Krishna Rajan, embarked on this ambitious project to emulate the sacred Mount Kailash, the mythological abode of Lord Shiva. The temple not only served as a place of worship, but also as a demonstration of the power and artistic aspiration of the Rashtrakutas. During a period of British colonial expansion in India, British officers often ventured on expeditions for leisure and exploration. It was during one such excursion that the lush, overgrown vegetation of the Maharashtra region, which had concealed the Ellora Caves for centuries, finally gave way to one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in India.
A lot of archaeology that gets done doesn't get done because of a targeted search.
The year was 1819, and the caves, untouched and perfectly preserved as if in a time capsule, were stumbled upon accidentally by Captain John Smith and his party. The discovery by Captain Smith wasn't merely about uncovering a lost site, it was a revelation that peeled back the layers of India's rich and ancient civilization, which had thrived long before European powers set foot in the region. As Smith entered the caves, he was confronted with the grandeur of India's past, an intact cultural heritage that spoke volumes of its historical depth and complexity. However, Captain Smith left behind more than just the memory of his discovery. In what is now viewed as an act of historical vandalism, he inscribed his name and the date on a pillar inside Cave 10. At the time, such actions were common among explorers, who often left their marks as records of their presence. This graffiti, though frowned upon today, provided a tangible record marking the European discovery of the site and has since become a point of contention in discussions about heritage preservation versus the historical markers of colonial exploration. Following this accidental discovery, there was a renewed interest in the Ellora Caves, leading to more systematic explorations and excavations. The Archaeological Survey of India, established in 1861, took on the mammoth task of excavating and preserving these ancient sites. Their efforts were crucial in maintaining the structural integrity and historical accuracy of the caves as they faced the dual pressures of time and increasing tourism. Detailed studies and documentation efforts were spearheaded by early explorers and scholars like James Burgess and later Ghulam Yazdani. Their meticulous work in cataloguing the sculptures, iconography, and architectural styles has been compiled into extensive reports and books, which remain invaluable resources for Indological studies today. This comprehensive documentation helps ensure that the Ellora Caves, including the magnificent Kailasa Temple, continue to be understood and appreciated not just as monuments, but as gateways to India's illustrious past. The Kailasa Temple, also known as Cave 16 at the Ellora Caves, truly stands as a testament to the ancient mastery of rock-cut architecture. This stunning structure isn't just a testament to grandeur, but also to a unique construction methodology that melds religious devotion with unmatched craftsmanship. Unlike traditional buildings constructed from the ground up, this temple was carved directly out of a single massive rock, a process that required not only extreme labor but also precise planning. The effort to remove approximately 200,000 tons of rock from the site underscores the monumental human endeavor that went into its creation, likely involving hundreds, if not thousands, of laborers across several generations.
Ancient cultures all around the world preserved a memory of a high civilization, of prehistory.
Symbolically, the temple mirrors Mount Kailasa, the mythical abode of Lord Shiva, suggesting that the architects intended to create a heavenly abode on Earth. This ambition is evident not just in the temple's scale, but also in its elaborate multi-storied design, which features a rare vertical expansion in rock-cut architecture. Each floor is intricately adorned with carvings and statues that bring to life stories from Hindu mythology, especially those focusing on Lord Shiva, enhancing both the religious and aesthetic appeal of the temple. Comparing the Kailasa Temple to the ancient city of Petra in Jordan highlights its unique features. While Petra is renowned for its impressive facades carved into rock faces, the Kailasa Temple goes a step further. It is not just a facade, but a complete excavation, with intricate vertical carvings that make its interiors as spectacular as its exteriors. Unlike Petra's relatively plain interiors, the Kailasa Temple is elaborately detailed, with entire floors, columns and ceilings that are ornately decorated to reflect Hindu religious themes. The engineering behind the Kailasa Temple also addresses some significant challenges, such as maintaining structural integrity while removing massive volumes of rock. The architects and engineers employed their deep understanding of geology and engineering to ensure the stability and durability of the remaining structures. They even incorporated an ingenious drainage system to prevent water accumulation and erosion during the region's heavy monsoon seasons. Moreover, strategic placements of openings and alignments within the temple structure allow natural light to flood its interiors, enhancing the spiritual and aesthetic experience for visitors. The layout also facilitates the circulation of air and movement of devotees, crucial during religious ceremonies. These intriguing aspects of the Kailasa Temple, combined with the mysteries surrounding its construction, have fueled various theories about its origins and the techniques used in its elaborate design. From theories suggesting extraterrestrial influence to speculations about advanced ancient technologies or a network of secret chambers, the temple continues to be a subject of fascination and scholarly debate.
I think the dating of quite a number of megalithic sites needs to be reconsidered.
These discussions not only celebrate the architectural genius of the temple's creators, but also deepen our appreciation for this ancient marvel. Exploring the mysteries of the Kailasa Temple at a more refined level reveals a range of fascinating theories that try to explain its incredible construction. One such theory suggests that the technology and precision required for its creation in the 8th century might hint at extraterrestrial influence or the use of advanced ancient technology that has since been lost. While this idea captivates the imagination, most scholars and archaeologists believe that the temple's construction was well within the capabilities of human ingenuity at the time, pointing to similar rock-cutting techniques used across India long before the temple was built. Another intriguing theory about the Kailasa Temple involves the possibility of a network of secret tunnels and chambers beneath the complex. Local legends and some speculative reports suggest that these could have served as passages for religious ceremonies or as escape routes during invasions. However, thorough archaeological investigations have yet to confirm these claims, and the natural rocky terrain of the area makes such an extensive network rather unlikely. The alignment of the Kailasa Temple with celestial bodies forms yet another theory. Some believe that the temple, like many ancient structures, was designed in alignment with certain stars or planets to harness cosmic energies during significant astronomical events, such as solstices and equinoxes. While there are notable celestial alignments at other ancient sites that lend some support to this theory, concrete evidence linking the Kailasa temple's orientation with celestial events remains elusive. As these theories continue to pique curiosity and scholarly debate, the significance of preserving such a monumental site has never been clearer. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Ellora Caves, including the Kailasa Temple, are the focus of ongoing preservation efforts. These efforts are crucial in protecting the site's intricate carvings and magnificent structures from both natural elements and the impacts of modern-day tourism, ensuring that this ancient marvel can be appreciated for generations to come.
There are huge areas of the world that have never been looked at by archaeology at all, or if looked at by archaeology, looked at only minimally. Of course, the most important are the flooded continental shelves, and that's why Santa and I spent 7 years of our lives scuba diving all around the world.
Nestled at the westernmost edge of the Saurashtra Peninsula in what is now the state of Gujarat, India, the ancient city of Dwarka offers a narrative that is as rich in spirituality and mythology as it is in historical urban development.
The calculation is that 27 million square kilometers that was above water during the Ice Age is underwater now.
The city's strategic positioning near the confluence of the Gomati River and the Arabian Sea played a pivotal role not just in safeguarding it from potential invaders, but also in bolstering maritime trade and fostering connections with other parts of the ancient world. This geographical advantage, coupled with the city being enveloped by water on all sides, either as a peninsula or a series of islands, crafted a natural fortress that was a challenge for any adversary to overcome.
Most of human civilization has been organized around water, right? And as the water levels change, some of those ancient cities could be completely covered.
We did a lot of diving in southern India, so it was great for her to be able to talk in their own language to Tamil fishermen and Tamil divers and see if they'd seen any weird stuff underwater, which they certainly had.
Moreover, the Gomati River's proximity not only enhanced the city's scenic beauty, but also served as a crucial lifeline for its residents. Dwarka's urban landscape, as depicted in ancient texts, was nothing short of architectural grandeur. The city boasted of meticulously planned streets, a state-of-the-art drainage system, and formidable fortifications, all of which were divided into well-defined sectors for residential, commercial, and administrative purposes.
We know that it's been underwater for about 6,000 or 7,000 years, but the question is, how long before that was it made? How long did it stand there above water?
This level of urban planning and civil engineering sophistication showcases an advanced understanding of city management and infrastructure development, making Dwarka a marvel in ancient urban planning. The city's defensive structures, including a series of gates and fortifications, underscored the thoughtful defensive strategy employed in its construction. These were not merely architectural feats, but were strategically designed to regulate access and provide unwavering protection against invasions. Such architectural and strategic prowess points to a high degree of sophistication and indicates that Dwarka was a city that blended beauty with brains, making it a formidable entity in the ancient world.
You're coming across statues underwater, you're coming across columns underwater. It's just magical in diving on an underwater city.
Diving into the depths off the coast of modern-day Dwarka in Gujarat, India, archaeologists have embarked on marine explorations that have significantly advanced our understanding of the ancient city's grandeur and the sophisticated civilization that once flourished there. These underwater explorations have brought to light submerged structures, stone foundations, walls, pillars, and steps that many believe were part of the legendary Dwarka, a city of immense importance in Hindu scriptures. The discovery of such elaborate underwater architecture points towards the advanced engineering and construction techniques of the time, hinting at a society that was far ahead of its contemporaries in terms of urban planning and infrastructure development. The use of modern technology, including sonar scanning, diving explorations, and underwater photography, has been instrumental in mapping out the submerged city, providing us with a clearer picture of its complexity and the scale at which it operated. But the revelations don't stop at structures. A plethora of artifacts unearthed both from the seabed and land excavations near Dwarka tell tales of a culturally rich and economically prosperous society. The remnants of well-laid streets and an elaborate drainage system underscore a high degree of urban planning, indicative of a society that valued organization, environmental health, and the well-being of its citizens. Moreover, the variety of materials discovered suggests Dwarka was a bustling hub of trade and cultural exchange, maintaining connections with other civilizations of its time. This diversity not only showcases the city's economic vitality, but also its cultural openness and dynamism. But perhaps what's most fascinating is the chronological evidence unearthed through radiocarbon dating.
We have to accept that civilization in India is at least 5,000 years old. The largely and correctly discredited notion of an Aryan invasion of India needs to be abandoned.
Some artifacts and structural components of the submerged city have been dated back to the 2nd millennium BCE, aligning Dwarka's timeline with that of Lord Krishna, as described in traditional beliefs and ancient texts. This dating not only cements Dwarka's place as a significant cultural, religious, and economic center in the ancient world, but also bridges the gap between mythological narratives and historical reality. These archaeological findings offer a tangible framework to understand the evolution of urban settlements in ancient India, shedding light on societal structures, trade practices, and the cultural dynamics of the time. As we piece together clues from the past, Dwarka holds a special place in the tapestry of Hindu mythology and Indian ancient history, not just for its divine origins, but also for the mystery and majesty that encompass its story. At the heart of Dwarka's legend is its foundation by Lord Krishna, a pivotal figure in Hinduism revered across various traditions. The epic tales from the Mahabharata and the Bhagavata Purana tell us of Krishna's quest to protect his people from persistent threats, leading to the establishment of this city. It wasn't just a random choice. Krishna was strategic, opting for a location that offered natural defenses and prosperous living conditions for his subjects. Positioned on the western coast, Dwarka was a fortress against adversaries, thanks to its geographical advantages and access to vital sea routes that facilitated trade and communication. This city wasn't just a safe haven, it was a symbol of divine protection and ingenuity, blending spiritual significance with architectural splendor. The story of Dwarka, with its grand buildings and eventual mysterious submergence, captures the imagination, making it a subject of fascination and reverence. Dwarka, often hailed as the City of Gold in ancient scriptures, embodies not just the literal application of gold in its architecture, but also represents an era of unparalleled wealth, prosperity, and architectural ingenuity. This legendary city, with its palaces shimmering with gold and precious stones, grand public spaces, and formidable fortifications, stands as a testament to the zenith of ancient urban development and prosperity. The city's opulence wasn't confined to its material wealth. It extended to its sophisticated design and layout, which were attributed to Vishwakarma, the divine architect in Hindu mythology. Commissioned by Lord Krishna, Vishwakarma's vision for Dwarka was nothing short of architectural brilliance. The planning of Dwarka was meticulously executed, with distinct zones for residential quarters, marketplaces, temples, and public buildings. This segregation ensured that the city functioned efficiently, with each area serving its purpose without encroaching on another. The residential quarters, designed for comfort and accessibility, were likely constructed with not just security in mind, but also aesthetics, ensuring that the city's inhabitants lived in an environment that was safe, beautiful, and harmonious with nature. But perhaps the most captivating tale of Dwarka is its mysterious submergence.
The submergence of those sites is largely because of subsidence of land rather than sea level rise, because it's relatively recent.
Legend has it that following Lord Krishna's departure from this world, the city met its end, swallowed by the sea. This story isn't just a pivotal chapter in Hindu mythology, marking the end of an era and the onset of Kali Yuga. It has also piqued the interest of archaeologists and historians. Their underwater explorations near the modern city of Dwarka have unearthed submerged structures, offering a tangible link to the city's legendary past. These discoveries hint at the existence of a significant settlement that might have gradually succumbed to rising sea levels or other catastrophic events, giving some historical backbone to the mythological tales. The submergence of Dwarka is often seen through a symbolic lens, reflecting on the ephemeral nature of wealth and the inevitability of change. It reminds us that even the most splendid creations, no matter how grand or well-built, are not immune to the forces of time and nature. This story, rich with historical intrigue and mythological depth, continues to enchant and provoke thought, bridging the ancient with the present and the mythical with the real.
An example I often give is the Indus Valley civilization. Nobody actually knew that it existed until it was accidentally discovered while a railway was built. And then they found that there were these actually very, very sophisticated, very complex mud brick structures on a very large scale. Then they found that this culture had a language, a fully developed written script. We can't read that script. The script exists, but we can't read it.
The story of the Indus Valley civilization, one of the earliest cradles of urban life, reads like a mystery novel filled with climatic twists, geological turns, and the shadowy figures of invaders. As we dive deep into the annals of ancient history, this civilization's gradual fade from the vibrant urban entity it once was around 1900 BCE to mere remnants by 1300 BCE has puzzled scholars and history buffs alike. Let's explore some of the intriguing theories that have emerged over the years for why this civilization suddenly vanished. Imagine living in a city where the once reliable monsoon rains start becoming erratic around 2200 BCE. This wasn't just inconvenient, it was catastrophic. The Indus Valley people, whose agricultural prowess depended on these rains, faced reduced yields and possibly famine as a result. Imagine rivers, the lifelines of your trade and agriculture, changing course due to tectonic shifts. Cities that were once bustling hubs of trade and culture could no longer sustain their populations. This wasn't just about less water for crops. Entire trade routes were disrupted, especially those with Mesopotamia, putting further strain on an already struggling economy. Now add to this scenario the threat of earthquakes. These weren't just minor tremors, but possibly significant quakes that could alter river courses, destroy sophisticated drainage systems, and turn well-planned cities into inhabitable ruins. The very foundations of urban life were literally and figuratively shaken. For a time, the theory of an invasion by nomadic Aryans gained traction, suggesting a dramatic end to the Indus Valley civilization. This theory, rooted in ancient texts like the Rig Veda, depicted a clash between the invading nomads and the settled peoples of the Indus Valley. However, the absence of clear archaeological evidence of such an invasion suggests that the civilization's decline was more a slow burn than a sudden collapse. Amidst these external pressures, internal societal and economic factors were at play. The strain of maintaining extensive urban centers alongside depleting resources could have led to social unrest and made these cities unsustainable. As trade with distant lands dwindled, possibly due to emerging competitors or shifts in trade routes, the economic backbone of the civilization weakened. When the British were laying down the tracks for the Indian railway system in the 19th century, they stumbled upon something extraordinary: ruins made of well-crafted bricks in the Punjab region. Little did they know, these bricks were the remnants of the Indus Valley civilization, a society that had vanished thousands of years before. At first, these ancient bricks found a new purpose under the wheels of progress, quite literally being used in railway construction. It's a bit ironic when you think about it, an ancient civilization helping to lay the foundations for modern transportation, all while its own story was buried in oblivion. Enter Alexander Cunningham in the 1870s, a man who could be seen as a detective in the realm of history. As the founder of the Archaeological Survey of India, Cunningham was among the first to take a scholarly interest in these ruins. However, even with his reports, the true significance of what they had found wasn't fully grasped. The pieces of the puzzle were there, but the picture was yet to be seen. The plot thickens with Sir John Marshall, who took the helm of the ASI in the early 20th century. Under Marshall's direction, the ASI turned its gaze to the prehistoric past, setting the stage for a discovery that would challenge the narratives of urban civilization's origins. It was Daya Ramsani who, in 1921, began excavating at Harappa, and soon after, Rakal Das Banerjee laid bare the wonders of Mohenjo-Daro. These sites revealed to the world a civilization of astonishing complexity and sophistication, with well-planned cities, advanced drainage systems, and a plethora of artifacts that spoke of a rich cultural life. The discoveries of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro were like opening a window to an ancient world, showcasing the architectural and cultural achievements of the Indus Valley civilization. This was a society that had its unique script, still undeciphered, and urban planning that could rival any contemporary city today. The Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro, with its watertight construction, hinted at a society that placed significant emphasis on cleanliness and possibly ritual purification. As more archaeologists joined the fray, Ernest Mackay, Madho Sarup Vats, and Mortimer Wheeler to name a few, the knowledge of this ancient civilization expanded. Each excavation across the Indus Valley region brought new insights. The narrative of the Indus Valley civilization challenged the then prevailing notion that complex urban life began solely with Mesopotamia and Egypt. Here was evidence of a parallel society that had flourished and then, for reasons still debated, declined and disappeared, leaving behind a legacy buried under the earth. Let's take a stroll back in time to explore Harappa, a city that once thrived in what's now the Punjab province of Pakistan. This ancient metropolis wasn't just any old city, it was a cornerstone of the Indus Valley civilization, bustling with life between 2600 BCE and 1900 BCE. The story of Harappa's discovery is as fascinating as the city itself. Initially spotted during the 19th century, it wasn't until the British were laying down railway tracks in the 1850s that Harappa began to reveal its secrets. Ironically, bricks from this ancient city were used in the construction of the railway, unknowingly dismantling a piece of history for the sake of progress. Fast forward to the 1920s, when Sir John Marshall and his team of archaeologists took a closer look and realized Harappa was part of something much bigger. They uncovered a city so advanced it would rewrite our understanding of urban planning in ancient times. Imagine walking through streets laid out in a perfect grid, with main roads up to 30 feet wide intersecting at right angles. This wasn't a haphazard settlement. It was a city built with precision and forethought, showcasing remarkable engineering skills. Harappa's infrastructure was nothing short of revolutionary. The city boasted an advanced drainage system, with covered drains along the main streets and smaller ones connecting from individual homes. This emphasis on cleanliness and public health is something many modern cities could learn from, and the buildings, all constructed with standardized baked bricks, stood as a testament to the Harappans' knowledge of materials engineering, giving the city a unified look. But Harappa wasn't just about impressive streets and sanitation. The city was alive with bustling granaries, which were central to its food storage and distribution system. These weren't just any granaries. They were massive structures located near the city's heart, hinting at a well-organized governance system that ensured the population was well-fed. Diving into the everyday lives of Harappans, we find a society that valued comfort and cleanliness. Houses, ranging from simple dwellings to more elaborate homes, often had their own wells and bathrooms. This level of domestic luxury suggests a society where social stratification was present, but also one that placed a high importance on individual welfare. And then there are the artifacts, the seals engraved with animal figures and an undeciphered script that hint at a complex system of communication, trade, administration, or perhaps even ritual. The pottery and tools unearthed in Harappa, from utility wares to beautifully decorated pieces, reflect the diverse occupations and crafts practiced in the city, painting a picture of a vibrant, bustling community. Harappa was more than just a city. It was a beacon of urban civilization, showcasing advancements that were unparalleled for its time. Its discovery and excavation have not only provided us with a glimpse into ancient urban life, but also challenged our perceptions of ancient civilizations and their capabilities. Nestled in the Sindh province of Pakistan lies Mohenjo-Daro, a site that's not just an archaeological treasure but a testament to the architectural genius of the Indus Valley civilization. This city, one of the most iconic remnants of ancient urban life, gives us a sneak peek into the lives of its people, their societal structure, and their unparalleled urban planning. The city was cleverly divided into two main areas: the lower city, bustling with residential and commercial life, and the Acropolis, where public and ceremonial buildings stood. This division speaks volumes about the level of organization and planning that went into Mohenjo-Daro. It wasn't just a cluster of buildings, it was a thoughtfully laid out city, designed for efficiency and order, with distinct zones dedicated to different aspects of daily life. But let's talk about the Great Bath, the crown jewel of Mohenjo-Daro. Imagine a large, watertight pool, meticulously constructed for religious purification rituals. Surrounded by corridors and rooms, the Great Bath wasn't just an architectural marvel. It was a central piece of the city's spiritual and communal life, emphasizing the importance of water not just for survival, but as a sacred element in their culture. The people of Mohenjo-Daro were master craftsmen, their skills shining through in the intricate beadwork, finely crafted metal objects, and beautiful pottery discovered at the site. These artifacts were not merely utilitarian. They bore the marks of artistic excellence and possibly held deeper symbolic meanings for their creators. The variety and quality of these items suggest a society that valued not only function, but form and beauty, integrating them into their everyday lives. Moreover, Mohenjo-Daro was a bustling economic center. The numerous seals, weights, and measures found among the ruins hint at a complex economy that thrived on both local and long-distance trade. This was a city that was not isolated. It was connected, engaging in commerce with distant lands, showcasing its economic prowess and its role as a significant player in the ancient world. Mohenjo-Daro, with its advanced urban planning and sophisticated architectural elements, stands as a shining example of the ingenuity of the Indus Valley civilization.
The Indus Valley civilization, nobody actually knew that it existed until it was accidentally discovered while a railway was built. Then they found that this culture had had a language, a fully developed written script. It's about 5,000 years old, but there isn't a single Rosetta Stone that enables us to translate that script into any more recent language. If you wish to pass information to a distant future, if you wish it to be preserved, you wouldn't be smart to just write it down.
Welcome to the mysterious and ancient city of Mohenjo-Daro, one of the largest settlements of the Indus Valley civilization and a marvel of prehistoric urban planning buried deep in today's Pakistan.
Since the discovery of the Indus Valley civilization, we have to accept that civilization in India is at least 5,000 years old.
Now, let's unravel the secrets of this place, explore its sophisticated drainage systems, the iconic Great Bath, and decode what secrets might have existed in this magnificent city over 4,000 years ago.
I want to know what else is going to be found that hasn't been investigated yet at all. We're just touching the edge of a huge mystery.
Mohenjo-Daro, situated in the Sindh province of Pakistan, is a key archaeological site from the Indus Valley civilization, also known as the Harappan civilization. Its name, translating to Mound of the Dead in Sindhi, hints at the mysteries buried within this ancient city, offering a unique glimpse into one of the world's earliest urban societies. The site was discovered in 1922 during a broader archaeological survey of the Indian subcontinent, conducted by the Archaeological Survey of India. Rakhaldas Bandyopadhyay, known as R.D. Banerjee, stumbled upon what he initially thought was a Buddhist stupa in the Larkana district. Further investigation revealed the ruins of an ancient city, predating any known Buddhist settlements, marked by sophisticated urban features like baked brick structures.
They found that there were these actually very, very sophisticated, very complex mud brick structures on a very large scale.
Major excavations kicked off in 1924 under Sir John Marshall, the then Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India, and his deputy, Ernest Mackay. Their efforts unveiled an advanced city with a well-planned layout, efficient drainage systems, brick houses, granaries, and public baths, all indicating a highly organized society. The excavation methods were quite methodical for the time, involving grid-based trench digging which allowed for a clearer understanding of the city's layout. Marshall also emphasized the use of photography and meticulous on-site notes to document the findings accurately. Among the most remarkable discoveries was the Great Bath, suggesting the site's use for ritualistic or ceremonial purposes, alongside a sophisticated sewage system that highlighted the city's advanced urban planning and sanitation awareness. Post-1947 partition of India, Mohenjo-Daro became part of Pakistan, and new excavation phases were led in the 1950s and 1960s by Pakistani archaeologist Dr. Ahmad Hassan Dani. His work helped uncover lower layers of the city and explore residential areas that had not been previously excavated.
There's a lost civilization which is now accepted by archaeology within relatively recent memory, and that's the Indus Valley civilization.
These later excavations focused more on understanding the daily lives of the inhabitants, with numerous artifacts such as pottery, tools, and ornaments providing insights into their daily activities, trade practices, and cultural aspects. As archaeological techniques evolved, later excavations at Mohenjo-Daro incorporated modern methods including stratigraphic analysis, which aided in more accurately dating the city's layers. There was also a significant emphasis on using refined conservation techniques to preserve delicate artifacts and building materials exposed during the digs. From the 1970s onwards, efforts predominantly shifted towards preserving the integrity of the site, as it faced threats from salinity, waterlogging, and deterioration of materials. In recognition of its value and the need for protection, Mohenjo-Daro was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1980, which helped attract international attention and funding aimed at preserving and protecting this ancient window into early urban life. Continuing from the intriguing discoveries and preservation efforts, the urban layout and architecture of Mohenjo-Daro are indeed remarkable, reflecting a level of sophistication and scale that's astounding for its time period, around 2600 BCE to 1900 BCE. As a critical part of the ancient Indus Valley civilization, this city offers profound insights into the early techniques of urban planning and architecture that have stood the test of time. Mohenjo-Daro spanned at least 1.5 square kilometers, with some estimates suggesting it might have covered over 5 square kilometers at its peak, making it one of the largest cities of its time. The city was meticulously planned with a grid system, dividing it into a lower town and a citadel area. Streets running north-south and east-west sliced the city into well-organized blocks, demonstrating the urban planner's keen grasp of design principles. Residential blocks were designed with precision to ensure uniform appearance from the outside and direct access to street-side drainage, reflecting a controlled approach to urban development and adherence to municipal regulations.
Is knowledge preserved and passed down through the ages? Yes, I think it is.
The city's drainage system was extraordinarily advanced for its era. Each house was connected to a street-side drainage channel through individual drainage pits, a setup that showcases early mastery in sanitary engineering. These drains, constructed from baked brick and gypsum mortar, included manholes at intervals for maintenance, features that would not be out of place in a modern city. The buildings of Mohenjo-Daro were primarily built using sun-dried and fired mud brick. Baked bricks were particularly used for constructing bath and drainage structures to better withstand moisture. The architectural variety within the city was notable, with homes ranging from small single-room dwellings to large multi-storied buildings, indicating a society with socio-economic diversity. A typical house featured a courtyard surrounded by rooms, providing light and air to living spaces, with some houses boasting 2 or even 3 stories. The standardization in brick size, typically measuring 7 by 14 by 28 centimeters, suggests there was a centralized system for the production and distribution of building materials. Most materials for construction were likely sourced locally, given the abundance of clay in the Indus region, ideal for brickmaking. However, special items like the large stones used in some public buildings might have been sourced from further away and transported to the site. When we compare the urban planning and architectural sophistication of Mohenjo-Daro with that of ancient Egypt during the same period, a fascinating picture emerges. While the Egyptians focused more on monumental structures like pyramids, constructed from large stone blocks quarried from distant locations such as Tura and Aswan, the people of Mohenjo-Daro excelled in creating a functional urban landscape that prioritized civic amenities and residential comfort. Building on the sophisticated urban planning and architecture of Mohenjo-Daro, the archaeological site is also renowned for some extraordinary artifacts that shed light on the cultural and technological advancements of the Indus Valley civilization.
We're going to see more physical evidence for this, more as time goes by.
The dancing girl is a captivating bronze figurine, merely 10.5 centimeters tall, capturing a young girl in a dynamic pose with one hand on her hip and the other casually dangling at her side. The level of detail in the figurine is remarkable, showing off intricate jewelry and a detailed hairstyle that points to a highly sophisticated sense of aesthetics and craftsmanship. This small statue is not just a piece of art. It highlights the advanced metalworking skills of the time, being one of the few metal artifacts discovered at Mohenjo-Daro. Another significant find is the so-called Priest-King statue, a small steatite sculpture standing about 17.5 centimeters high. It depicts a male figure seated, adorned in an intricately engraved robe and wearing a fillet around his head, which might have once held a feather or other decoration. The sculpture's serene expression and the precision of its beard trimming suggest meticulous grooming and possibly a high social or religious status. Some scholars believe this figure might symbolize an idealized form of leadership or divine authority, integrating both political and religious power, though it may not represent a specific individual. Perhaps the most architecturally impressive discovery at Mohenjo-Daro is the Great Bath. Located centrally on the Citadel Mound, this large pool measures roughly 12 meters by 7 meters and is about 2.4 meters deep. It's constructed from finely fitted bricks sealed with a layer of natural tar, making it waterproof, an advanced construction technique for the time. The Great Bath is believed to have been used for ritual purification rites, reflecting the civic and religious practices of the Indus people. The structure was ingeniously fed by a well, and an adjacent drain allowed for the emptying and cleaning of the bath, indicating a sophisticated management of water resources. Comparing the Great Bath with Roman baths brings interesting insights. Like Mohenjo-Daro's bath, Roman baths were central to social and religious life, going beyond mere hygiene to serve as gathering places for social interaction and ritual practices. However, Roman baths were typically more complex, featuring varied temperatures across different rooms and incorporating technologies like steam baths and underfloor heating, showing different scales and advancements in engineering. An intriguing theory related to Mohenjo-Daro's significance within the Indus Valley civilization is the hydraulic hypothesis, which suggests that the city served as a religious center coordinating the management of an extensive system of irrigation canals. This hypothesis proposes that the city's leadership wielded both political and religious authority, crucial for managing the water resources vital for agriculture in the arid environment.